Hey friends, we're here. Look how good this stream looks. I'm so happy about it. Early morning vibes. That's the goal today. So far we've been successful. Walking outside while the sun is like just coming up, like it's blue outside and it's a little cool and the birds are chirping and it smells like, I don't know, like fresh. Dude, the morning's the best. Hey Chili, just Chili, what's up? It's been a minute. Yeah, I wanted to try something different today. So, I could have streamed last night, but I'm still kind of sick. It's been like a week. And last night I wasn't feeling super great. And so I was like, well, I could just hit the bed early, right? Go to bed early and then just wake up early and try an early morning stream. Because one, we have friends, we have family in the Philo fam from all over the place. And so one, I could stream in the morning and give something a little different for the people who are usually here for the morning. And then two, it would be totally different vibes when we could meet some new people. Ultra Death 3600, what a name. What's up? Not a lot. Today we're doing an early morning stream, which I've never done before. And I haven't been streaming for long, but I wanted to try something different. So it's going to be a little laid back today. The vibes are fantastic. I have a bit of a new setup behind me. Got some LEDs and got a cool little Edison bulb. Very exciting. 12 midday for me. I like this. I can stay. Yes, Chili. That's what I'm talking about. I wanted to offer you guys something a little different because I know a lot of people sacrifice their nights just to be here, which blows my mind. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I don't have much planned for today, guys, honestly. Like, really, I just wanted to jump on and vibe and talk to people, meet some new friends in the morning. I might break out my guitar later. I don't know. That's a maybe. Also, ooh, this is exciting. If you guys look, I'm trying to look at them right now. I have channel points that I threw together. A lot of tiers, actually. And I'm worried about it, partially, because if you guys redeem something, that means I have to do it. And I'm sure there will be more in the future. But there are some things in here that I don't want to do, like, every 10 minutes. But I know eventually that might happen. And that's okay, because that's part of the fun. Hey, Swizzle Swazzle, what's up, lad? How are you doing today? How are you guys doing today? Guys, it's the morning. It's the morning. I stayed up all night for the stream. Let's go. Ghost. Now I have to deliver. Now I have to be good. Because you stayed up all night for this. Ghost, I'm so happy for you. I love that for you. Thank you. You're the best. How did your stream go, Ghost? How did your stream go? I would have stayed up all night anyway. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better. How's your morning been, though? Well, okay. So I know that it's not morning for everybody, right? And I knew that jumping on. I knew that it would likely be not morning for almost everybody that watched the stream today. Because who wakes up at 7 a.m. and watches streams? No judgment if you do. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I've done similar things. You just wake up and just pop open Twitch sometimes. You know, that's cool. But I mean, 7 a.m. That's tough. Luckily, my hometown, like, I'm from a place that's 1 hour. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's 1 hour behind this. So I guess it would be like 6 for them. That's pretty crazy. So I wanted to try a different time. I wanted to meet some new people and give some of my viewers a break, you know? If you can understand that. Yeah, you guys can check out my channel points and see what you think. So one of my fears, I was talking about this. Just Chili has 3K? Yes. One of my fears was that, so I've been affiliate for a couple streams now at least. Ooh, I like these. Yes, right? I've been affiliate for some time. Not very long, but what I've known is there have been people that have been on stream like almost the whole time since I've been affiliate, since I've had channel points. And so part of my fear is that, oh, hydrate. Thank you. I'm actually Ghost for redeeming the hydrate. Guys, that's my first channel point redemption. Thanks, Ghost. That's exciting. That's me. Yes, that is you. You've been around. And so one of my fears was that a bunch of people would have like a ridiculous amount of channel points. And I'd be like doing like 3 freestyle raps in a single. Oh my goodness, that would be crazy. Okay, guys, I want your opinion. Since we're vibing, we're just here. I want your opinion on the border here. See this border? Pretty fancy. This border is the same color as my like be back soon screen, my starting soon screen. Like those have a border as well, and this is the same color that border is. But I have another color for the border that I want to test out now that I have my lights up, right? And I don't think this will always be green, but for today it is. Now that I have my lights up, check this out. Is this color, a dark brown border, better? That's the thing. Hey, Skylibs, welcome. Oh my goodness. Skylibs, have you popped into a stream yet? I'm so happy that you're here. Literally, Skylibs, I was surfing Twitch, which I like wholly never do. Okay. Just Chili Redeemed shout out a viewer. This is a new channel point tier. All of them are new. But this is a new one where I actually do exclamation point winner, which is something only I can do. And Streamlabs picks a random winner. And then I give him a shout out. I think it's really fun. I'm actually a ghost. Got it. So shout out to I'm actually a ghost. They're amazing. They stream. They have a wonderful heart. And they're hilarious. And they're like the best. So yeah. Shout out to I'm actually a ghost. I love that channel point too. Yeah, this is your first Skylibs. So I was surfing Twitch. And what was this, like 2 days ago or so? Maybe a little longer. And I like never really surfed Twitch to other channels. But I was trying it that time because I wanted to find people that I vibed with, right? Just a couple more, and I had time, and you know what it's like. And so I cruised Twitch for like, I don't know, it was a while, probably at least like half an hour or so. And I went through so many different streams, and I supported some people here and there were some people that I thought were cool. But Skylibs was so wholesome and pleasant and kind, and I think you're Scottish, I think, which is interesting, and it was just really awesome. And so I vibed a lot with it. And you know what I thought when I got on this stream, on Skylib's stream? I think my community would really like Skylibs. It's like, that's just kind of the vibe. Like, there's a subcut. I see your redemption, just chilly. I'll get there real quick. But I was thinking, like, there's like a subgenre that's a little more low-key. It's a little bit less like in your face, a little bit more like, hey guys, like we're all here, and yeah, Scottish poggers. We're all here and we're playing games, or we're just hanging out, and it's cool. And like, I just love that vibe. So if you guys haven't checked out Skylibs, you should check out Skylibs. They're the best. And I've only been to, I think I saw that one, and I've maybe popped in like one other time, but every time it's great. They're great. All right, guys. So Just Chili redeemed kalimba, and the kalimba is a really sweet instrument. Honestly, I don't have much, like I don't really have anything prepared, but I can take this first redemption to explain it and show you what it sounds like. And then I'm planning on maybe writing little songs on it. It's like really simple, but a kalimba is also known as a thumb piano. Like that's what most people know it as. So look at this. Very pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pretty. This and listen, hold on. I'll cut the Wi-Fi real quick. Or not, did I just say Wi-Fi? I meant lo-fi. I'll cut the lo-fi real quick. Okay. Yeah, so these are really pretty, and this is what they sound like. Oop. Isn't that pretty? I hope that's not too loud or anything. Really pretty. Ominous. Yeah, and I want to kind of here. I'll have to stand up for this. Look at my big sweater too. I'm wearing a big sweater. I love the big sweater vibe. Okay, but this is kind of what you do. You just pluck it like this. It's really pretty. Isn't that beautiful? So, ominous. I love that. Ominous. Cryptic. Yeah. They're really wonderful. And so that's the Kalimba redemption. This is what it is. And this is something I think I've maybe shown on stream like a couple times. Hey, hair reveal is back. Okay, so the number for the hair reveal is wrong. It's actually, we're at 77 now. But sometimes my widgets take a minute 'cause my computer is funny. So here's how we fix this, right? Without going into Streamlabs. I've learned this. If I test... Oh, wait. No, I gotta finish my thought real quick. I love Kalimba. It's really pretty. I want to make little songs for you guys. And then when people redeem, then I can play little songs. And I think it's just really cute. Oh, yeah. And also, I want a little table here that I can put here. And I want to put a little plant child there, which we've talked about before. And I want like a salt lamp maybe. And then I want to put the Kalimba. I want to make like a little Kalimba shrine that has like candles or something. And I want the Kalimba to just sit there like all pretty. Hey, and there's chat. Yay, my computer caught up. I'm so happy. I love my computer. Follower goals are always scuffed. That's fact. But check this out. Perfect segue. Now, I've learned that if I just test the widget, if I just test follow, then it'll make it go up. What's up, Wander? Morning. Check this out. Ready? 74. See it go up like that? And we need to get it up to 77 because you guys are cracked. And we got a few follows last time. Boom. Ready? 75. Please. Please. Yay! 75! Everyone's cheering on the... Everyone's like cheering on the follow goal. Like, you can do it. Ready? 76. Come on, buddy. 7. Yay! My poor little computer is trying so hard. This is so fun. Okay, ready? One more. One more. It's Gunther. Yeah, I usually go, hi, Gunther, whenever I get a follow, because I think it's cute. I also kind of want to move him over. All right, there we go. Yeah, Gunther is adorable. Someday I'll probably have, like, personalized stuff. And I have some people that I know that are, like, fantastic at art. I would absolutely give some money to help me. So maybe someday, but I think I would really miss Gunther. Gunther! Okay, if I gift 100 subs, it will go to random people and they will follow. Okay, just chilly. You don't have to gift 100 subs. That is insane. Dude, we've never even had 100, like, people on this channel. We're just vibing, man. I'm still sick if you can't hear. I decided I wanted to sleep in a little, so I'm a little late. Literally, Wander. It's okay. What time is it for you? Like 5 a.m. or something? Also, Wander, look at this setup. It's kind of great. So my lights are just kind of draped across, like, I have a little filing cabinet there. This is a storage room, so this stuff isn't mine. There's a filing cabinet and then, like, some bins and stuff, and I just have it draped across there, and it works really well. I think I'll probably keep it like this, and I probably won't hang it on the brick. So I'm kind of happy the brick didn't work out. And then the Edison bulb light totally works too. And I can change the intensity. 4:18 a.m. Wander, what are you doing? You woke up for this? That's sleeping in for you? Wander, you're built different. Do you have work or something? Don't you work at, like, a bakery? That's so pog. Phil, can you become British? Can I become British? You know, if I could, I would. Honestly. British accents are just something else. Wait, ready? Okay, so I can change the intensity of this light. Do you see this little bar? I got it hooked up. So watch this. I can make it bigger. Oh, I can make it super bright. This is like full intensity brightness. Then you drop it down. Make it a little more moody. And I've had it down to like here-ish. This is where it was before. And I think I like that intensity. Maybe even a little less. I like the little glow. It's like my favorite. Oh gosh. Oh no. Do Scottish next. Skylibs? I can't do Scottish. I'll try in just a second. But don't be drinking tea. But don't be drinking tea. So you don't want me to drink tea? Well, if you want me to be British, then I'll have to drink tea. That's just how it works. Now, that's somewhat my character. I have like a subtle British accent for a character I do on a D&D stream called Edward N. Fellows, and that's what he does. That's how he talks. I'm sorry. I start work at 6. Wow. Also, this is coffee. It's coffee vibes. Everybody get your coffee, even if it's not early. Yes, the paper dungeon. D&D. I normally get up at 5, but I got up early for this. Wander, your heart is just something else. You know what you get for that? You know what you get for that? Hug. Wander. You get a hug for that. For waking up early. No, Phil, why? Why did you do it? I'm sorry, just chilly. You asked me to. Tea and coffee is disgusting. That's a bold claim. I really enjoy hot tea and cold tea. I enjoy cold tea, but I really enjoy hot tea. I've been cutting down on coffee recently. Like, I haven't been drinking it as much because of the caffeine and stuff. And it's not like I had a coffee problem or something, but I've decided to drink more water and stuff, and I've been getting in nutrition more, and stuff like that. And it's been really nice. But last night, oh my goodness, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to catch up with the chat real quick. Skylibs is having her morning coffee too. Yes. Yes. That's the correct decision, even though it's past midday. Oh no. That's okay. Sometimes you just gotta wake up when you wake up and do your thing. You know what I mean? I totally get that. I've done that more than once. Wander hugs everyone. Thank you. Tea is great. Oh, hey, guess what, Wander? Wander. Look. I don't think Wander was here when we were talking about this. Wander, look at the channel point tiers. Ready? I'm looking at them right now. Also, I picked out all the colors. You guys can let me know if you like them. I like how they're pastels at first, and then they turn into more darker colors when you get to higher tier. I don't know why. I think that's a cool aesthetic, but I might change like I don't know. I might change a couple colors, but I really like them. I think so far we have a really wonderful channel point like list to start with. I think they'll change and stuff like that as we go, but I think they're pretty fun. So, do a somersault. This is my color. Yay! So I'm saving. Facts. Plus, okay, so the somersault tier, I've like literally I think since the first stream, literally since our first stream, which people can't see at all. The only thing we have from that first stream we did, which was like my 21st birthday like celebration essentially, was just that clip of the somersault from Wander. I think Wander did it, and it's on YouTube. And all of my streams are on YouTube. Sometimes there might be a little lag before they're up, but all of my streams and like a bunch of highlights and things are on YouTube. And whatever people clip, I'll typically take highlight, edit a little bit, change the name maybe, and then I will upload that as a highlight and credit the person who clipped it, and then that will also be uploaded to YouTube, and I'll credit who clipped it there too. And so that's kind of how the streams and the highlights will work as far as YouTube goes and stuff like that. And that from that stream, the only bit that we have, the only evidence we have from that first stream, because I didn't have the VOD saving setting on, which I don't know why that's not automatically on Twitch's part, but we lost the whole stream, but that clip. So I think since that moment, since like the first stream, and I think we maybe even talked about it the first stream, but we'll never know anymore, is that we wanted a channel point tier where I do a somersault. And I'm just I'm so I'm so like nostalgic and stuff. It's so funny. Like it's a little thing, like it's a somersault, but it's just cool to me like having a callback like to the first stream, and like the concept of having something in the first stream that like lives on forever. Dude, that just makes my whole day. It just makes me so happy. It's awesome. You watch them all, just Chili, and the music, it was so good to your voice. Thanks, Chili. Yeah, I think they're a lot of fun. Like, it's just, I really like putting in the effort to just make sure that stuff is, like, gonna always be there. Because, like, then we'll have the memories. I'll have the memories, you guys will have the memories, and then we can also share the memories, even if it's a little different, with people who come onto the stream later. You know what I mean? And that's really important to me. You know, I really, really like that. Oh, Skylibs just followed me on Twitter. Thank you, Skylibs. Guys, I think there's a socials thing. Um yeah, hey, now you can see my socials if you want to follow me. Shameless plug. Thanks for that segue, Sky. Do you prefer, I think I asked you on stream, but I can't remember. Do you prefer Sky or Libs? I think you said Libs. I like that name too. Um I didn't even save the VOD of when I shaved my head. No. No. How long was your hair before? That's so sad. We should have a head shaving. So I have long hair. Oh yeah. You can see the little bun. And I'm having a hair reveal at 100, as you can see. Hair reveal at 100 followers. And so but so I haven't cut my hair for a couple of reasons. One, I want to hit a weight goal, which I'm really close to before I cut my hair. Two, I want to have the hair reveal happen before I cut my hair. And so I don't want to cut my hair before I show you guys what my hair looks like, because then it would be like, haha, just kidding, I cut it, and nobody ever saw my hair. But I'm thinking about cutting it, and it might be kind of like cracked to have a stream where I shave my head too. Like that's kind of an interesting idea. But I don't want to say it like officially because I don't want people to expect it, you know? Sky, either is fine, to be honest. My name is Elizabeth. Okay. Okay, so Libs, that makes sense. I'll try to call you Libs, but if I call you Sky, you know I'm talking to you. Because I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody gets that way. I prefer Just. That's it. Really? Just? What's up, Just? You like that? Okay. I had hair to my butt a couple years ago. Donated most and shaved the rest. That is so cool. Hair dono. That's awesome. I should do that. That's a great idea. I think my sister did that once. I think my sister did literally the same thing. My younger sister has shaved hair and she looks really good. BRB, I'm gonna make tea real quick. Wander, you go get that tea. I got my coffee. If you guys don't all have a hot beverage yet, what do you even think you're doing? What do you even think the point of this stream is, right? This is early morning vibes. Where did my Wi-Fi? I said it again. Where did my lo-fi go? I turned it off for the Kalimba. It's been so long. There it is. Honestly, it was kind of nice without it's kind of nice without the lo-fi too. That's a good sign when you can go without music and still vibe. That's a great sign. Time to go live right now and raid Phil and keep doing it for the hair. Chili. You don't have to do that. No, please call me Chili. Okay, I'll call you Chili. I like that name. But oh yeah, I've donated my hair a couple of times. Would recommend. It takes a long time to grow long enough. Doesn't it have to be like something? It has to be a certain length, and I don't remember what the length is, but that's pretty awesome. Go you. I'm gonna turn my brightness on this up a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better. That's much better. Do you hear how sick I am? I've been sick for like a whole week. It's kind of crazy. Wait, maybe yeah, that's good. How do you guys think the brightness is? Like as far as lighting, I think it's good at this point. I think it's a little better lighter. Ghosts have hair. Oh gosh, could you imagine? That's funny. This one does around like 8 inches. That's what I thought it was. Phil, I'm sick of you. Got him. Being cooler than me, even though I'm chilly. I can't be cooler than Chili, man. That's impossible. Your name just Chili, the coolest name I've ever heard in my life. It's freaking Pog. Keep adjusting this. Also, Skyloops. Gosh, I'm dying. Are those your emotes? Did you make those? And did you make them yourself? I think they look amazing. Unless that's a common Twitch emote and I'm just a pleb that doesn't know about it, because I kind of am. Welcome back, Wander. I think, guys, too, I want to share with you guys what my morning routine is, or what my desired morning routine is, you know. Oh, that's Lauren's emote. She's an insane artist. She did a drawing of me recently, though. Really? I noticed you changed your profile picture. That might have been on Discord. Was that the drawing? Because I thought that was really, really good. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, that's what she did. Very cool. Very cool. I think that is spectacular. Yeah, as far as emotes goes here, there's still some conversation to be had regarding like what they'll be, and stuff like that, and who will be doing them. I know a number of people, but I think one of them will probably be an egg with legs and sunglasses, and that's kind of an inside joke, and I think I might want to make it happen. And then other than that, I'm thinking of maybe getting a flute emoji of me playing the flute. I just said emoji. Emote. Gosh, I'm such a newbie. But a little like the Cucurbit flute emote. I think that would be fun to have. Probably one where I'm probably a Philo champ, where I'm like that or something. I think that would be fun. I don't know. Maybe one where I'm sad. Maybe a hug emote. I think that could be interesting. I don't know how that would happen, but I have some ideas, but that's still up for, that's still a topic of discussion for sure. I'm excited for yours. Do egg tier 2 or 3. That's kind of funny, actually. I've done that with an egg meme. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Like, what if it'll take a while before I can even, like, unlock those. Unless that's not true. Maybe I can do it already. I don't know. But nonetheless, I think that would be kind of funny if, like, tier 2 is the egg. Because it's like, you've done it. Or tier 3, it's like the egg is so sacred. That's so funny. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. Otherwise, I kind of like the idea of everybody being able to use the egg and, like, using it in other, like, chats, like anybody. Because it would be such a bizarre emote. It would be like, what is this and why? And that to me is funny. I think it's hilarious. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But, do you guys want to know what my morning routine typically is? I didn't do it today because I woke up early and then I ate a thing of yogurt, a little yogurt cup, and I ate some toast with some honey pecan cottage cheese. And then I grabbed my stuff and I came over here and I set up the lights and I set up the stream, and now I'm here. And that was my whole, oh yeah, and I brushed my teeth and stuff like that and got dressed. But that was like my morning routine. But usually I try to do a little bit more. Even when I don't wake up early, even when it's a little later in the day, like even if it's like I wake up at midday, I still kind of try to do, in general, the same, as of recent, the same morning routine, or at least similar. And I've been trying to structure it in a way that really like hits a lot of the main things that I need to do for myself. So then when I wake up at any time, I make sure that I take care of myself right off the bat. That I do at least the things that I need to do to make sure that I'm okay. And then when I do that, it sets me up for the rest of the day. So this is essentially what I try to do every morning. Take care or you become. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Eventually. Gotta eat some food and stuff. Um, this is typically what I try to do in the morning. And you guys can share what you guys do for morning routines too, because I'm interested. I'll typically, sometimes the order changes. It usually changes, but these are all the things I try to fit in. I'll usually wake up. Preferably, I'd fill out my planner, or at least I'd put on the first things I need to do, which I'll say now. Um, I want to fill out my planner with like the stuff I think I can get done that day. And I'll even put things down like naps. Like if I need to nap or something, or if later on in the day I'm gonna nap, I'll like add that to the planner, and then I'll check it off when I'm done because that's still like a thing that I did. But typically in the morning, I'll do my hygiene stuff, like brush my teeth and things like that. And then I will make myself some food, and I've been trying to move away from just like cereal and stuff. I really like cereal, but I've been trying to work out more. I've lost a lot of weight recently. I've been trying to work out more and eat really well nutritionally, like eating enough nutrients, eating enough protein, which is really important when you're working out. And so in the morning, I'll typically make something with some vegetables and then either cottage cheese or Greek yogurt because that's high protein dairy. Now I'll usually get something with a little bit of carbs, like some toast or something, and then with butter, sometimes cinnamon and sugar, but usually just butter or cream cheese. Because I'm trying to take it easy on sugar and stuff too. And then usually a handful of nuts, sometimes an avocado, and then a kiwi. Usually kiwis are like the healthiest fruit out there. Like that's completely true. Look it up. It's crazy. Kiwis are like the only actual superfood kind of. Like they're kind of crazy. They kind of pop off. That's usually breakfast. If it's smaller than that, if I only eat a few things because I don't feel like eating that much, because sometimes it's hard to eat that much, then I'll usually, at least for lunch or my midday meal, I'll make sure that I include more of the things that I kind of missed out for breakfast, As I usually, Libs says, I usually make coffee, drink my smoothie I made the night before. That's really cool. Then start study until like 4 p.m. when I get ready for Twitch time. Okay, question. I almost said question mark. Okay, question mark. So different places call schooling different things. Like I know I have some Italian friends that call college university. That's just what they call it. And I know a lot of places do, especially Europe. They call it university typically, and we just usually call it college. And then the university is like the noun of like where you go. But the act of doing it is like college. Like I'm going to college, right? Is study like what schooling is to you? Like when you say start study, do you usually like, is that coursework? Is that like online stuff? Do you like go to school? Or is that just like you sitting with books and learning and studying like that? Because that's pretty cracked. And then you get ready for Twitch and you stream every day. That's pretty pog. That's pretty awesome. I drink from the udder. That's so gnarly. That's so gnarly, dude. I milked a goat a few weekends ago. It was awesome. I was a natural, man. We have college and university here, but I'm at University of Glasgow. I think I've heard of that before, but I'm probably saying it wrong. That's super pog. That's really cool. I hope it goes well. Like, I went to college for 1 year in Missouri, which was spectacular, but I dropped out to do mission work here, and now I'm in Louisville. But after this year, I think I'll probably end up in Italy, living there for a time. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Oh yeah, and right now I'm kind of doing schooling. Like, I'm doing work to be certified to do like missions, to do like not entrepreneurial, like philanthropist-esque things, and just kind of like help communities and stuff like that, and team dynamics. Like I'm here to like learn how that all works so I can go and function in a place and help people. That's kind of what I'm doing here. We get a preschool, primary, high school, college, uni. college and then university. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Cuz here like college and university are almost the same. Like college college here, like we have community colleges that are like usually 2-year degrees, like associates is what that's called. And then typically at universities, you can get either 2-year or 4-year degrees, sometimes even master's degrees or doctorates, I guess. That happens at universities too. That's usually like post grad schools. And so it's all kind of just a hodgepodge here, I guess. um, on work days, oh yeah, I haven't even finished my morning routine. On work days, which is most days, I get up to turn on the kettle, go back to bed for another 15 minutes, pog, get up 30 minutes before work, get ready for work, feed the cats, make tea, and then head to work. Wander, you sound like someone who's really, like, proactive. I don't know if you agree or not, but from what I've seen, like, you woke up at, what, 4:15 to be here? You wake up just to turn on the kettle for tea, and then you go back to sleep? That takes commitment. Like, I'm really impressed with you. I'm online right now, so it's just studying for exams with books. That sounds kind of dreadful. I mean, pog that you're getting an education and getting certified and qualified to do work that you're hoping to do. But man, that is a lot. That's a lot of dedication. You're doing a 5-year right now, a 5-year degree. Wow, 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 wow. I milked an octopus and got black coffee. That's gross. I'm pretty sure that's ink, my friend. I'm pretty sure that's ink. I probably just didn't like it. It was probably like, what are you doing? It was like, go away, and it inked you. Sorry to break it to you, man. Don't drink it, probably. It's probably not good for you. I'm really not, but it was better than getting at 4 every day for work. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, and you need your tea in the morning. I understand that. I really depends on my mood. Like, it depends if I'm feeling tea or if I'm feeling coffee. You know what I mean? Today I was definitely feeling coffee. So, also, I was talking about something earlier, but I kind of. Oh yeah, I was gonna mention, Libs, you make smoothies the night before. That's really cool. Like, I should get better at preparing for the morning, like the night before. That just helps, you know, helps when things are easier. Like today, last night I set out like my clothes and I set my bag out and I set everything out so that when I got up, I could just get up and get my things and then come over here and just start streaming. But like if I did that every morning, one, my morning routine would be faster, and two, it would probably be easier for me to get up and do those things, you know? That's kind of smart. That's like really cool. Yeah, I have 2 jars, so every 2 days I make them. Oh, and you keep them in jars. That's really cool. Then in the mornings I just grab one. Wow. Like, I'm kind of like blown away by that. That's like brilliant. That's so cool. That's so original. Like, what a cool thing to do. You ever has chicken cheese? Wouldn't rate it. Dude, what? Wouldn't rate it? So you wouldn't... I don't know if that means it's good or bad, or neither. Does that mean it's so in the middle that you can even rate it low or high? So you're like, I wouldn't even rate that stuff. Like, who says that? What does that even mean? I'm so bad at eating in the morning. Oh, so it's a good way for me to get what I need. Yes, I understand. It takes work. Like, it really does. Like, it takes work to eat well. You know what I mean? Like, now that I went on keto for a couple months and I lost like over 12 pounds, I think. It was really awesome. And I did it in a really healthy way. Like, I made sure I was eating enough and drinking enough water and all that stuff and stuff like that. I was just kind of helping myself get habits. And then, now I'm no longer on keto. What I'm trying to do is develop habits where I eat nutritionally and I eat enough protein and stuff like that so that as I work out, I can see results better and I can also be healthier, like day to day. And it's a chore. Like, eating enough food of nutritional food is tough to do. It's not impossible. Like, once you develop the habits, it's absolutely doable. But it costs more money, it takes more time to make food, and it takes more time to eat food and all that stuff. But the the benefits of doing that is so worth it. So I completely understand how tough it is. And making ways where that kind of lifestyle is sustainable is so important. Because if you just start and the lifestyle isn't sustainable, like the way you eat isn't sustainable, then you're not going to be able to keep doing it. But so like things like making healthy smoothies the night before, so that when you wake up you can just get a smoothie. That's brilliant. Yeah, kudos to you. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I lost a lot of weight and ended up being scared of carbs and protein. You definitely don't need to be afraid of carbs and protein. You don't need to be afraid of them. Kind of, I was watching, so there's a really great guy who does a lot of nutritional and physical activity, science-based conversation, and he has a YouTube channel. Super easy to watch, really, really understandable. He explains things super well. Out of the years and years of looking into like working out, nutrition, this guy is the most solid guy I found on the topic. His name, I'll put him, actually, I'll cite him in the if you're if you're at all interested in this stuff. His name is Jeff Nippard. That's his name in chat. I give him my rating of 5 out of 5. Like, serious. Like, he's very, very good. I found YouTubers and stuff that I like that talk about nutrition before, but this guy is really next level. Like, he does his research thoroughly. He talks in a way that's non-biased. He gives his opinion, but most of it is very science-based. And one of the things he helps with my understanding of food is he said that no food is necessarily good or bad, which makes sense. I mean, there are certainly things that are like have toxins, things that just chilly. You're so silly. There are things that definitely have toxins and things that you shouldn't put in your body. Like, that's totally understandable. But as far as typical food goes, like, there's no food that's bad or good. Like, carbs aren't bad, sugar isn't bad per se. It's just the amount we eat, you know, and the balancing. He says that it's much better, unless you have a very unhealthy diet, it's typically better to add foods that you know you need. So like if I love bread, so like it's probably good if I cut back a little bit of bread, because that's high carb, if I'm eating a ton of it every day. But if I like bread, it's probably better for me if I just supplement by adding in other things in my diet that are healthier than I need. For example, fiber. You know, fiber cancels out carbs. Eating some fiber, making sure I'm getting enough veggies like iron and stuff like that, making sure I'm getting enough protein. Protein is really, really, really important for your muscle health. So protein isn't something that makes you gain fat. Protein is actually a different system. Carbs and sugar is more on the side of fat, and fats go towards the fat system. The more muscular system, that's more protein and stuff like that. And so typically with nutrition, I'd encourage you to try like just adding in, and it sounds like from what you're talking about, you're proactive. And for everybody here, I suggest just adding things in your diet that will help you get a balanced nutrition. You know, like make sure that you have some veggies, making sure that you have some protein, some carbs is good actually. Making sure that you have all of those kinds of things. Fruits, veggies are good too. Fats, natural fats, that's the other thing. And once you get all of those things in your diet, your body just runs better, because like your body has systems that needs these things, you know. And so different things work for different people. Like, find what works for you and go for it. And that's my opinion. I could go on and on. I think nutrition is really cool. That took me a long time to learn too. It's hard to learn. I've been looking into this stuff for years, and I feel like literally years. I think it's probably been like 5 years or more, and I finally feel like I'm getting a decent handle on nutrition. And I think one of the reasons why I care about this topic is because I think my problem in the past is that I just wouldn't eat enough. Like, I'd work out a lot, but I wouldn't see a lot of results, or I wouldn't feel as good. I would feel okay, but I felt like there was more. And I think I'm like certain that the problem was that I just wasn't eating enough. I wasn't eating enough nutritionally. I wasn't eating enough protein and all that stuff. I essentially had a diet of like avocados, cottage cheese, sardines, nuts, bananas, like vegetables, some other veggies, and that was almost my entire diet for a while. And that is not enough. Like especially for what I was doing and trying to do. And yeah, so I care about it. Take care of your body, man. It's so worth it. And sleep, it's crazy how much sleep plays a factor on these things. Like heavily. It really, really, really does. So sleep is important too. I've been trying to do that a little better and stuff too. Yeah, my smoothies have celery, spinach, a bit of fruit, and peanut butter and supplement seeds. Yum. That is amazing. That is such a good morning thing to have. I'm so proud of you, and I feel so much better. Ew, peanut butter. You don't like peanut butter? I think peanut butter is pog. I think it's good. I love peanut butter. I actually don't like it, and everyone is shocked when they find out, hey, some people, it's not for them. Some people, it's like the texture and stuff and the aftertaste. Yeah. I actually don't like it, and everyone is shocked when they find out. Oh, wait, I just read that. Yeah, my flatmate can't stand even the smell of it. That's such a epic word. Whoa, that's such an epic word, flatmate. I have a housemate. There's actually somebody who is bunking with me who is looking for a place right now. They're one of the friends of one of the team members here. And so they're just chilling with me. I love it, having a roommate. I don't know them very well, but they're great. What's sleep? Wait, do you guys call flatmates? What do you call flatmates? Oh, housemates. So we actually typically call them roommates. Like that's typically what you have, like roommate. Like, hey, this is my roommate. In college, when you go to college, you have a roommate. When you get a studio or an apartment, you typically have a roommate. I call it a housemate because we live in this little house that's rented out by the team and stuff. And then in my room, on the bunk bed, now somebody's staying with me in there, so he would be my roommate. But I could grammatically still tangibly call the guy I live with in my house my roommate. And people would be like, oh, okay, you live with him. Like, that's what people would understand it as here. I have 2 roommates in uni. Wow. That's pretty crazy. The rooms at the college I went to were pretty small, at least in my dorm. So we just had one roommate. Like, one had one side, one had the other. I have my own room, but share living spaces with 4 others. So there's a lot of pros and cons to that. Like, as far as I understand, I really want to live with roommates. Like when I go to Italy, I want to live with people from Italy. Like I'd love to do that. 1, it would force me to learn the culture. 2, it would force me to learn the language. 3, I'd make friends in Italy a lot faster because they'd have friends, or at least they'd want to make friends, and I'd be there and I'd want to make friends. All that stuff. And especially if they're college students, because typically college students in Italy especially, they don't have like dorms for universities, and so almost all the time students need to find their own housing elsewhere, and so there's almost always university students looking for roommates. And so if I were to go soon, I'd be able to get some roommates that are Italian that are in school, and I think that would be really, really, really cool. And then I'd be able to do some social media, I'd be able to do some mission stuff there. It would be fantastic. So I'm kind of thinking about that, but I really want roommates is what I'm saying. So I think there's something really special about that, about the experience. But when you have bad roommates, from what I've heard, it's like really awful. It's like awful. And so, it's a hit or a miss, I feel. It was with 3 people and a roommate for 2. Yeah, that's tough because you can't really escape that. It's a good social boost for sure. Yeah, if you're not used to... Like, it really stinks if you're somebody who doesn't really enjoy social interaction, or somebody who's not very comfortable with it, and then you get bad roommates. That's, like, even worse. But it is a really good opportunity to, like, learn people skills, learn how to, compromise, learn problem solving with people. Like, it's just good. I think it's a good thing. I'd love to do it with some Italians. Like, when you enter a new culture and you want to learn the culture and be affiliated with the culture, it's really, really important to be immersed in the culture as soon as you can. Like, not in a way that's dangerous, really, but being able to be in the culture and, like, when you get there, have that initial experience where you experience and see and talk to people and everything's different, it's important to do that in a way where you cognitively are prepared for it, I guess, and in a way that's safe, that's not dangerous, where you know where to go and not to go and stuff. But it's really important not to just go somewhere and isolate yourself, because then when you get there, your perception of the place from like day one will be, I'm scared to be there, or it would just put up the wall of me and them, you know, like I'm American, they're Italian, and that stuff just isn't helpful. So if I go somewhere, and I think Italy might be the first place, I really want to make sure that I go and that I'm immersed in the culture. Like maybe my first night out, I go to a pub or something and meet some people, or I go walking during the day and go to a bakery and I don't know, and try to do stuff that way instead of just like isolating myself. If I'm working with a team that's doing missions and stuff like that, I don't want to stay just with the team, especially if they're just American or something like that. I want to make sure that I'm out with people. And if I live with Italians, how much better is that? Then I'm like in the middle of the culture all the time. I hear the language all the time. I experience the food more, all that stuff. They know what's fun, what people do. I meet people. It's awesome all around. So I guess that goes for advice with like uni too, or like university or college, or even school, like talking to people. I'm not saying that if you don't talk to people, you're doing things wrong. Don't hear me wrong, because it's scary. It's not an easy thing to do. But I think it really pays off being kind to people and like going out of your comfort zone and making those connections. I think is completely worthwhile. And then when you do it and you notice that it was worth it, then you'll want to do it again. Like I'm just really excited for that stuff. And I want to challenge myself as a person and grow. You know what I mean? Like I want to go to other cultures and see how they think, how they feel, you know, how they process things, what they do, and then learn from that and incorporate helpful things into my life. And, you know, and it'll help me change and give me contrasting opinions that'll sharpen my own. I'm so intense. I'm so sorry. I could just go on and on. I'm such an invert, not very talkative in real life, and that's okay. That's okay. I can be inverted too. Inverted? Introverted. That's the word. I can be introverted too. Typically I'm pretty good with people, and I'm pretty good at reading like when people aren't comfortable, or you know, when people feel left out, and I really care about like making sure people feel welcome and being kind to people and stuff like that. I really care about that. And so typically that makes me decent in social situations, but especially when I'm with a lot of new people or when I'm around a lot of people for a long time, I totally need my alone time. Like I don't function super well if I'm just constantly with people, because it takes a lot of energy. And like sometimes like going out and doing things with people, I gotta like prepare myself to do it. Like it's not always easy. I understand. And some days all I want to do is just like isolate myself, just lay in bed, you know, just be alone. That's just dreamy, you know. So I understand that. Nothing wrong with being introverted. Nothing wrong at all. I want everybody to experience like meaningful relationships with other humans. Like I want that for everybody. It's so important. Everybody needs that so much, you know. I'm going to get some work done for a while, so I'll lurk. Yes, Libs. Do your thing. Thank you for the lurk. Hey, I have a lurk command now. You should use it. I just set it up. I think that was like yesterday I did. Or no, 2 days ago? Man, time flies. Yeah. Usually, I don't think usually we have like deeper talks like this, but man, it's early morning vibes. I kind of expected it, like, you know what I mean? Also, I have a question for you guys. Today, I set my key light to a warmer tone today. So my face is warmer. Like, you know what I mean? Like here's what it's like cooler. This is cooler. This is when the light is cool. Is this better? Is this better for vibes, or is this better for vibes? That's the question. I think this kind of fits the vibe more, right? I could be wrong though. You started dozing? Hey, no worries. Warmer. Yeah, okay, I agree. I had it cooler earlier. Oh, I also did a thing where there were lights above me. Like back there. I kind of showed you before. They're like they have circles in their lights, and then you can like change the direction they go. And they were shining at the ceiling before, but I actually turned those off. I unplugged them. I'm actually going to plug those in and see what you guys think of them, because I'm wondering if they should be on, because they kind of help light like the top of my head a little bit. Here, let me show you. Oh gosh. Don't worry, I'll be okay. All right, let's give this a look see. Spider webs, gross. I don't like spider webs. Okay, so I don't think it looks better. Yeah, no, that's way worse. That's way worse. It's way better with those off. I don't know why I've had those on for so long. Okay, let's see what it's like with one on though. Okay, now one is on. Okay. Now one is on. Is that better? Because you can kind of see how it lights this part of my head up a little bit more. But I think there's just less contrast with the background. Plus, you can't see the color as much. I would have done this before stream, but I just kind of walked in here and get everything set up and just did it. Okay, I'm gonna take that off because I think I'm just answering my own questions. You're just watching me figure out my lighting at this point. Egg. That's true. Good point. Oh yeah, that's just better. Ah yes, Chili with his knowledge. Also, yeah, my head's lit up just fine. I guess it doesn't add as much as I thought it did. You don't know what to say? You don't have to say anything. You're good. We're just vibing, man. We're just vibing. Honestly, oh yeah, I was talking about my morning routine. So, I also try to take my, like, vitamins. I have a bunch of vitamins and omega-3 and stuff that are just good for you. They're just to make sure that I get everything. And so I'll usually take all those, which is sometimes a challenge, but I usually do. And then I'll usually go back to my planner. Sometimes I'll make coffee or tea, but I've been trying to do more water. Usually I have a protein shake in the morning too. And then either I'll sit in my room and work, I'll sit in the little living room in my house and work, or I'll go over to this area in the basement here and work on stuff. It kind of depends on what I'm working on. I have a lot of things. There's a bunch of stuff. So there's the initial stuff here, like the coursework I have, which is like mostly online material, like video modules with questions or books and things like that, book reports or lectures. And then I also have like community work, like people will donate food like bread or produce and stuff, and we'll either walk around the neighborhood and deliver it to people, or we'll take it to a homeless camp. And sometimes random people walk in and we'll help them out, or we'll go to the park and play with the kids in the neighborhood, or we'll walk around and like pray for the neighborhood and people and stuff. Or I'll go other places to other things. Like there's a little like ministry thing for post inmates, like people who are in jail that I've gone to, which is really cool. Like meeting guys that are like jacked and all tatted up with scars that are like really kind and caring and like really eager to be better and help others. Like it is so cool. Like all these guys, it's just something else. And so that's really awesome. Sometimes it'll be things with international people, like either refugees, like there's a soccer team that's Congolese from Africa that we've met with a couple times. There's another Congolese group that we've met with. Sometimes it's meeting people who are like Muslim, from more the Middle Eastern area, basically in Louisville. So Louisville, I think that's where I am. It's like the third, what is it? I think it's the third like city, maybe at least in the United States, for like refugee travel. Like it's rated number 3 or something. Like there are hundreds of languages, probably within like a 5 mile radius of me, like hundreds. And that's, or at least 100 plus. Like that is not an exaggeration. Like the statistics are crazy. Um, and so the opportunities to meet people from other places with different experiences and histories is like huge. Um, so then throughout the day, that's kind of what I do. Like it's a mix of all that stuff. So that's one thing, right? That's like why I'm here, what I'm doing. And then also the stream, which I care about. You've heard how much I care about this. I care about providing a place where people can come, feel welcome, and where we can just vibe and have a good time, where we can talk about stuff we care about and all that stuff. I love that stuff. And so this is one of the things that I have on my mind that I'm focusing on, that I want to do well, that we're improving as we go. It's awesome. And then also the paper dungeon. What? The paper dungeon, which is a bunch of, us dweebs playing Dungeons and Dragons. I really freaking love the cast. Like, I could talk about the paper dungeon for a little bit. I mean, this is kind of the other thing I'm doing, I guess. There might be like one other thing that's usually on my mind, but like the paper dungeon. So, you know what? We're here. We're vibing. I'm going to talk about the paper dungeon a little bit. I'm going to talk about D&D a little bit as well, because I think it's really interesting and it's a part of me. Literally, I'm wearing the paper dungeon hat right now. This is some merch. For those of you who don't know, the paper dungeon is a stream. It's another stream on Twitch here. And I'm a part of it with some of my good friends. So we had a D&D group in like high school. It was me and a bunch of guys. Like not there were more guys that I would play with than just, hey, that Daria, thank you for the follow. Woo! Look how close we are. We're getting closer to the hair reveal. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to give you a rundown of the meaning behind the stream. First of all, good morning, good afternoon from Turkey. That is so cool. I have friends who have lived in Turkey for a small time. They've gone there and lived in Turkey for a bit. That is so neat. From chicken. Yes, thank you, Wonder Spirit. So, Turkey is Pog, but I actually have a buddy who I think wants to move there soon. Very cool. But philogrant, philo means brotherly love in Greek. In Greek, it means brotherly love. It's like familial love. Grant is my name. Put that together, you make up a new word. Together, philogrant means it's either a noun, which is basically somebody who treats others as if they were family, with philo love, like somebody who treats others that were family, or it could be a descriptive word. When you're being caring and kind, you're being philogrant. That's kind of how it works. And so us here, we want to be philogrants, like plural. Like we want to be philogrant, or we want to be people who are philogrants, like people who treat others as if they're family. We also want to be philogrant. We want to be caring. We want to be kind. We want to welcome people, all that stuff. That is the goal. And as we grow, we'll just be welcoming people into the philo fam, the family. The idea is that we're all family, that we're all here from different places. We're all different people with different experiences and backgrounds, but we're all here. Very, very, very cool. And I'm very excited about it. I think it's a really, really neat idea. And even as we're small, like we're pretty small right now, and I really cherish that, because that just means that we can talk more. We can talk more and get closer. And then as we grow, like, okay, my English may be bad. I apologize. I understand, even though it's hard. Hey, no worries. Thank you for being here, even though your English isn't perfect. It's okay. Like, don't feel bad if when you're chatting, you don't feel entirely confident. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad if you don't understand everything I'm saying. I'm so glad you're here. Anybody from anywhere. I think Turkey is really cool. I hope to move to Italy soonish. I think it's all very cool. Jocelyn! Welcome to the morning stream, Jocelyn. Do you see my setup? It's improved. Isn't it cool? It's so exciting. I did stand for you. It's been a while. Here, I'll give a hug to Joss and that Daria. Very cool. He stands. That's fine, Grant. It doesn't speak English. He speaks American. Huffs. A little bit. Yeah, I hope to move to Italy someday. And Turkey's nearby. Definitely different, but, you know, that kind of area of the world, I guess. What was I? Oh, yeah, I was talking about D&D. I really like Dungeons & Dragons. And with the paper dungeon, I played with a bunch of guys. And then, and some of them moved away. There's a really emotional session we had. Turkish coffee is very good, and Turkish delight. Ooh. I've had some Turkish delight before. Poggers. Turkish coffee. I'll have to go to Turkey and get some coffee. This is decided. I have some Italian coffee, like coffee from Italy. It's espresso, and I'm assuming Turkish coffee is pretty much the same. It's probably espresso. And so I'm looking for the perfect time to make it because I only have a little bit left. I got it from my friend from Italy while they were here. And so someday I'll make it. Maybe we'll do it on stream or something. We'll have a taste test. It'll be fun. I've always had this small part of me that wants to move to Greece. Greece is beautiful. I don't know much about Greece. I mean, obviously history. The history there and the architecture there and the geography there is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. I don't know much about the culture, what it's like there currently, but I think that would be awesome. I think you should absolutely check it out. Apparently English tea is good. English tea, yeah. I mean, tea is good in general. I'll bring it if I have the opportunity. Yes, bring it, please. Bring it, please. That would be awesome. So I'm thinking about... I know I've said I'd talk about D&D. Maybe I'll get to it, but... I've had a number of people here, like, talk about how they... Like, I've had a number of people here ask if I had a wish list on Amazon. Have you ever listened to a Turkish song? That's a great question. You know, maybe. It's possible, but I don't think I have. Here, that Daira, you don't have to. But if you'd like to, there is a music sharing channel in my Discord where you can go in there, send links to songs, send playlists if you want. You could even sing or send covers of songs that you have maybe. Grant, I'm going to go for a bit. I'm playing a tournament. Hey, no worries. Best of luck at the tournament. I hope it goes well. Let us know how it goes. If I'm not live when you're done, go ahead and let us know in the Discord. I'm really interested. I'll see you later, Just Chili. Thank you for stopping by at such an early hour. But yeah, Daria, you could send it there. Sadly, in chat, I disabled links because that's a little sketchy. You never know what people will send, but you could absolutely drop that in the Discord. If you don't want to join the Discord, you could probably just whisper it to me. I would love to hear the Turkish song. Let's see, what was I talking about? I can't even remember, but I know that I was talking about D&D a little bit. Dude, what was I even talking about? I've been doing pretty good at remembering what I was talking about right now. D&D? Okay, yeah. I remember now. So there was a really emotional session where I was with my friends who I've been playing with in high school for like years, right? For like 3 or 4 years at that point. And it was our senior year. So we basically all started just playing in our parents' basements. And Ryan, who plays Havel on the Paper Dungeon, he was my first DM. And we have some other friends who I care about a lot that aren't a part of the Paper Dungeon that were playing with us. But these guys that are in the Paper Dungeon, DJ, Drew, Aaron, and Ryan, they were with me since like day one, essentially. When you have the time, Kerimkan Dumraz. Pasimde. Pasimde. Listen, I'm very curious about your reaction. A song that is very talked about in Turkey right now. Okay. So that Daria. Okay, maybe we can do this. Is it clean? That's a good question, I guess. That's a good question. Because what we could do... Oh, man, we can't do that. We can't play it on stream, unfortunately, because of copyright. We can't do that because of DMCA. But, and I don't have the plugin yet, which I should get. But I can listen to it after stream. And I can, or maybe I can set up the widget for so there's a widget or a plugin that you can get for Twitch where you can play songs and they'll play it through the stream, but it won't be saved onto the VOD. So you don't have to worry about copyright. So maybe what I could do is I could get that plugin for next stream, if I remember, and then I could do a reaction, maybe. We could listen to it together, and then maybe I could react to it then. If you guys would be interested in me reacting to a Turkish song and saying what I think about it. I think that would be cool too, because I almost went to college for music, and I compose and stuff. And I play some music. I really, really love music, so I could totally talk about it. You know, I'm sure I would have plenty to say. So maybe we'll do something like that. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I would love to react to that. I'd love to react to music. That could be a whole nother thing we do on the channel, I guess. But great idea. Great idea. Thank you so much, that Daria. With D&D, with these guys, it was like 3 or 4 years of playing. And we were really, the only thing that kept us really tight was D&D. Like, we'd meet pretty much weekly, or no, it was like bi-weekly every Friday night, and we'd play. And it was super vibey. I'm going to start getting ready for work. I shall be listening though. Okay, thank you. You can lurk if you need to. ! Lurk. Wander, you're the best. I hope work goes well too. But we played together for so long, for like 3 to 4 years, and then senior year rolled around after playing together forever, and we were essentially playing like what we understood as our last session together, like our last session with everybody together, because everyone was moving to college. Like, we were moving to college or moving to other places. And that was like the last time that group was going to be playing together again. And this campaign we had been running for literally years. Like, it was probably like 3 or 4 years, like these characters and stuff. And there were 2 characters in that campaign. One of them was Aaron's character, and one of them was our friend Cameron's character, who's not on the paper dungeon. But he does mod for the paper dungeon occasionally. And their characters in the game were like very good friends. And they had a hilarious dynamic. Like, I forget what, one of them was named James. That was Cameron's character. The other one was Antoine Thimblefoot. And I think he had a bunch of middle names, but one of them was, I think I can't remember exactly. He was like a rogue or no, maybe not. One of them was a fighter, I think, maybe James. James did stuff. Antoine was like a wizard gnome or something. And they were hilarious. Aaron and Cameron are hilarious as it is, you know, but especially on game. Especially like on game, in game, they were just a riot. And one of the jokes they would have throughout years of playing together was Antoine, Aaron's character, would never call James by his name. He would, like his real name, he would always just say something that started with J. Like, he'd be like, oh yeah, that's great, Jerome. Or like, that's great, Juan. Or that's great, Jerry. Like, thank you so much, Jim. Like, stuff like that. He would never call him James. Ever once. In the, like, years. You know, it was hilarious. And then, at the last session, I can't remember if it was the same session. It might have been. One of the characters that had been with the stream, not the stream, one of the characters that had been with our group for years had died. And that was it was my friend Diego, who's very close. He's one of my best friends, and he's not on the paper dungeon, but he's somebody who I grew up with, essentially. And well, I guess like in junior high I met him and stuff. And we've been friends ever since. I still talk to him and stuff, and whenever I'm back home, we hang out. It's great. And he had a character that was kind of tied to my character named Ryu, and it was a monk. It was a dragonborn, and his character died, and it was really heavy for the stream. The group. I keep doing that. And then I think that was a few sessions before the last session, or maybe because there was another character that I played for a bit after. But then the last session, Cameron's character James, he had a family back home, and I can't remember exactly why he was out doing this with the group, but keep in mind, this was our group's final, like, as far as we understood it, it was our last time ever playing together. Like, our friends that we've been playing with for years. This was like it. And James' character, like, kind of said to the group after, like, near the end, I think it was like near the end of the session, he said something like, or he was basically saying, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was basically like, this has been amazing, but with all the death that's happened and all of the danger that we've been through, I think I need to be back home. I don't think it'd be fair to my family if I were to pass away and they were left, like, to pick up the pieces or something like that. And so this is a super emotional time for us. We're all like, no, like, James is leaving. But then get this pushed it over the top. Aaron's character, Antoine Thimblefoot, looks over at James, and he's never ever called him by his real name before. And he looks Cameron in the eye, or he looks James in the eye and says, oh, what exactly was it? This is what he said. He looked over and looked James in the eye, and he said, "Goodbye, James." And that moment, when Antoine Thimblefoot called James, his best friend, by his real name, which he's never done before, when he did that, it made Cameron start crying. It made Cameron start crying, and then, like, a bunch of us were crying, and a bunch of us had tears in our eyes. Like, it was such an emotional moment, because we have had recently had character death, and the friends were splitting up, and James was leaving, and we were all preparing to move to college. It was so sad. It was so sad. Anyways, fast forward. Not me tearing up. Really? I know, right? It was crazy. Like, time moving on. But then fast forward. So people go to college. We do our thing. Some of my friends, some of the buddies moved to Idaho. Others are in different places in college. I was in Missouri. And then I moved back to my hometown because I'm preparing to do stuff elsewhere, like go overseas, which inevitably ended up here. But then during the pandemic, I also should say that I played with some of the group, not the whole group altogether ever, but I played with some of the group here and there while I was still in Norfolk. And every now and then people would come visit from college and we'd play with them or something. So it wasn't the last. It was the last of that campaign, that group specifically. But I've played with some of them since then. And then the pandemic hit, and Ryan and DJ came back to Norfolk to live for a time. Just a little bit, just a couple months while their jobs figured it out. And while I was there, there was quite a few of us from the original group that were in Norfolk at the time because of the pandemic and stuff like that. And we ended up playing D&D through Zoom. Like, I think it was me, Diego, Ryan, Aaron, did I say Ryan? Yeah, me and Drew, and that might have been it. Maybe Cameron, I can't remember, but it was essentially some of the boys. And this was like, what was this? This would have been like almost exactly a year ago. This would have been April of last year or so. And then while we were doing this, DJ, I think, approached Aaron and was like, hey, after we did it a few times, DJ approached Aaron and was like, hey, why don't we stream this or something? Like, we play together. We've been doing this for a long time. Like, why don't we, I mean, make it available for people and like do it that way. And I've always encouraged Aaron in the past to like do a YouTube channel or something, because Aaron's freaking hilarious, and him and Cameron's dynamic is really funny too. And so we've talked about it in the past, but then they wanted to name it the Paper Dungeon, which is like Aaron's dream to like open a store someday with that name and stuff. And then they talked to certain people they wanted on the cast, like, you know, me and Ryan and stuff like that. So we got it all moving. We started brainstorming, started coming up with the stuff that we can put together, how we'll make this work, what the branding will be, you know, all this stuff. And then they moved back to Idaho and we kept working on it. But while they were here, we really fleshed a lot of it out. And then we thought we should get some other cast members. And so I think from the beginning, DJ wanted at least a couple girls on the cast too. But we didn't play with anyone, and we didn't really know anyone that would play with us or that were experienced. And so we went to TikTok. We went to TikTok and we looked at a bunch of different D&D TikTokers, and we reached out to a couple of them. And then the first person who we met with, was Lydia Corin, who's a part of our cast. She has TikTok. I highly recommend you look at it. Lydia is fantastic. She's proactive. She is innovative. She is kind. She is sweet. She is so talented. She completely changes our dynamic. Without her, it wouldn't be the same. And kind of how we did it was we had like a one shot where they made a character, and then we saw what it was like playing with them, saw what the dynamic was like, and we talked to them and stuff. And then once Lydia was kind of part of the team, then she recommended, we were looking at some people, and Hannah was in the list. Hannah Schooner, who's also on the cast now. And Libs, if you're listening, Hannah does an amazing Scottish accent. And one of her characters is indeed has a Scottish accent, and it is actually killer. But Lydia said, "Oh, Hannah, I've played with her before, like through one-shots with TikTok and stuff. Like, I've worked with her before. She's really nice, really cool, and she's really talented. I think you should check her out." And so we talked to Hannah, and we had a one-shot with Hannah, with Lydia too. And she worked, and she wanted to do it. And so then we worked with them for a while, getting everything set up, planning on like, okay, you know, what will our characters be? How are we going to introduce the Paper Dungeon? How are we going to get us started? How are we going to kick it off? All that stuff. We worked on the overlays and everything, like getting the website ready, getting the socials ready. It was so much to do. And then what we did was we pre-recorded, like, I think it was like, there's 7 of us, so 6 characters. We pre-recorded 6 different individual one-shots with the DM, just the DM and that player. And then we streamed them, I think, like twice a week or something, or maybe 3, or maybe daily, I don't remember. But we streamed them back to back, kind of hyping up until the drop day, where we would start with everybody meeting up. Oh yeah, that's right. We had one-shots with just the one character in the DM with everybody. And then we had group shots where 3 of the characters met and the 3 of the characters met. And then we had our first episode where both groups of 3 met. And that's how we hyped it up. That's how we started. Really brilliant. One of the cool ways about how we started is that the cast members, the individual characters, we have not seen each other's one-shots. Like, we haven't. A couple of the characters have, because they worked on, like, streaming it. Like, Drew has streamed it, so he's seen them and stuff, I think. But most of us haven't seen each other's one-shots. So there are still secrets and events in each other's one-shots that the rest of the cast doesn't know about. And the audience knows about it. That is really cool to me. But with Hannah and Lydia already having a bit of an audience and helping out so much, by the time we dropped our first episode, I think within the first 2 weeks of streaming, we already met the requirements for affiliate. Now, one of the challenges was, since we were a group, and so since DJ and Aaron were kind of co-owning and we were kind of members, we wanted to make sure that if we were to grow and make some revenue, that we could distribute the revenue legally if we ever got to the point where it was bigger. And so we wanted to make sure that we could be illegally an LLC, limited liability company, a certified business with the government, so that we could get money, disperse it between us, and if it was ever enough where the IRS would care about it, then we would be able to be like, oh yeah, we're a company, like we've figured this all out. But that took a really long time. I mean, there were a few weird things, like there was a number of things, right? And it just took a really long time to get it all smoothed out. We'd never done this before. Aaron's a business major, so we got help from some friends, but there were some things that weren't very clear on IRS's side, and it wasn't matching up with Twitch, and it literally took us like months and months and months to get that ready. And then once that was approved, once we got that through, then we finally were able to put in the affiliate tax information for the group. And so then we were affiliated a long time after. But we had some pretty great success right off the bat. And I assumed that we would do well at first because Hannah and Lydia are amazing and they already had fan bases and things. And then we'd grow a bit and then kind of plateau a bit. And then maybe we'd grow a little bit after that. And that's kind of what's happened. And we've worked really hard on it, and we've done a side series between the rows. We've done some side one shots. Now we have a Discord, and we have the website, and we have the podcast. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this show. And we do it every Monday evening at 7 p.m. CST. And so we've put a lot of thought, a lot of passion, a lot of thought behind our characters, a lot of passion behind the story, and a lot of time and a lot of work into the show itself. We've made all our own music. I would write the music, and then Drew would produce it with me sitting next to him, working everything out. And so we have original music. We have an original world homebrewed by DJ, helped by Ryan. We have our own characters, of course, and all that stuff. Like, it is awesome. It's really cool. One of the challenges is that we are all, and we knew this was coming. One of the challenges is that we are all like very ambitious people. For example, I'm having this stream because, one, I can do it, and two, I think it would be really good for people and myself. And so I'm putting myself into this. I got coursework. I have stuff with the team here. Like, there's a lot of things around, like, in my mind and what I'm doing. And in a similar way, like Hannah, for example, she's in New York working towards a degree in musical theater. And I think some other things, I can't quite remember, but she literally has like show rehearsal and like dance practice and like school on top of that. And she has to travel in the city. Like, she's very busy. A lot of us have a lot of things going on. DJ has a girlfriend, and DJ works at a gym, and, you know, there's been some changes of housing with Ryan and DJ and stuff, and Aaron's in school, and Drew's almost graduating. Like, there's so much for everybody in the cast. And so one of the challenges is we all can't put as much time and effort and energy into the Paper Dungeon as we wish we could. Which doesn't mean we don't put time and energy and passion in it. Like, we still stream every Monday, and that is enough for us. Like, that is so enough for us. But one of the challenges is right now we just kind of have to do what we can until really summer hits, or until we're all at a place where we can really put more into it. And then this is the exciting part. As we go and develop the show and the story, which has been doing wonderfully, and as we develop the characters, once we have the freedom to really go in and like have new merch lines and, you know, have sideshows and have different talk shows, like, once we can have the margin to do that, I think it'll be really, really great. It'll be really great. So I say all of this to be pretext to this next conversation, which is about TPD and the audience and, you know, our dreams, what we'd like to do. So this is I should have shared this earlier, but this is the heart and the purpose behind TPD. the concept behind it is that it's kind of similar to this channel, I guess, where all of us on the TPD cast, on the Paper Dungeon, playing D&D together, we're all very different, right? We have different upbringings, we have different childhoods, we had different religious like beliefs, we have different ethnicities. Like we're so different, all of us. And that was one thing that we really loved about it. Like, all of us were so different activities, different, humors, all this stuff. But because of D&D, because of being able to be together and create a story together and just enjoy each other's company and eat some junk food, because of that, we remained friends for years. Like, years and years. And if it wasn't for D&D, we would not still be friends, I don't think. Not because we don't like each other, but because we just didn't have enough in common. But D&D was that thing that tied us together. And so the idea behind this whole stream is that we want to bring that experience just to people. Like, we, at the end of it, we're just a bunch of dweebs sitting in our parents' basements playing D&D with some sody pops. And Lydia and Hannah can relate to those things. Lydia and Hannah love D&D. They're brilliant, right? They're so brilliant. They're genius, and they're so talented. I could say that again and again and again. And they're completely part of this concept. Like, having people that are together despite their differences to enjoy the story and enjoy each other's company and really lean in on friendship. Like, so what we want to do is we want to create that experience and that feeling for every person who's watching. Like, we want to pull people in to that experience, to that wholesome, like, we're just a bunch of people playing a game around a table because we like being together. We just want that to be how it feels. And that's been our vision from the beginning. Now, I don't think we've done 100%. I don't think we've done amazing at voicing that. Either voicing it or expressing it or making that feeling accessible. Not to say that I think we've done poorly, because I think we've done well. But to say that from this point forward, like coming up soon, we're really going to start focusing on how to really get that experience with the audience. We really want to look into channel points, ways that the audience can interact and emotes and things, making it an experience for those who are along for the story, for the adventure. And one of the things that I think will change the tone of the show altogether is something that we're going to be calling the filing cabinet. We've had a couple of these. We had a couple of live talk shows when we all met together in Idaho a little bit ago. And we had a couple live talk shows, one about our show and the other one about a side series we did called Between the Rows, which is really cool. Aaron DM'd it. I suggest you check it out. It's only 6 episodes. It was great. We put a lot of work into it. But the thing is, I think the filing cabinet, we've had this idea since before we started too, the filing cabinet. But I think soon it'll actually start. And it'll be probably pretty spread out at first here and there, but the thing with the filing cabinet is going to be a way. We already have overlays and stuff for it and music. We might change some things before starting, but we're getting it set up. And the idea behind the filing cabinet is where we as a cast, as people, as Grant and Ryan and Lydia and Hannah and Aaron and Drew and DJ. I don't think I said DJ. We can all sit there, and not all of us all the time. Sometimes it'll only be a few of us or a couple of us if people can't make it, or if we have a certain topic that we want a few of us to discuss. That gives us a chance to sit there and talk about the show, talk about our characters, talk about our heart behind D&D, talk about different theories, and also do Q&A with the audience. And the point of doing this isn't just to do a talk show. Like, we don't just want to do it because we can do it, we want to do it because this will help produce that feeling with the audience of us being together. Like, literally, you guys don't understand how many hours talking about our characters in the story like we do. Not planning. It's not like we plan on things that are going to happen. We might talk about a couple ideas, but we never talk about really what we are planning on doing in the story. DJ doesn't share everything. It's not scripted or anything like that. I just want to say that. But we will spend like when I was back in Norfolk, the number of nights that I sat with Aaron in his car until like 4:30 a.m. just purely talking about D&D, the paper dungeon, and the characters and the different the different philosophies and how we think their, personalities blend and all this stuff, and the different things that are being symbolized in the show. Like, we have spent hundreds of hours together as a cast talking about the show. Like, and that's part of the feeling of being together and playing a story, is that you get to enjoy and think about, what the characters are going through and where the story is going. And so being able to do that with the audience, dude, I want that so bad. And I just want to really lean into the feeling of we're just a bunch of people playing a game together. Like, and all of us want that. And that's so hard to get across well when it's a Twitch show and when we're all very busy and we really can't put it into it. But I promise you, like, we are all so dedicated and we've brainstormed so much, and there's so much in the works, so much planning, so much talking. And as things open up and as we keep on going, we're going to continue to try to improve it and improve it and improve it, So the paper dungeon, I really love the paper dungeon. I think it is a fantastic message. I think it's a fantastic story. We all really enjoy it. And honestly, like, no matter where I go, like, I might be going to Italy, I might go to New Zealand, maybe I could end up in Africa or Asia or even South America. Who knows where I'll end up? Maybe even Canada. Canadian Pog. Wherever I end up, I would love to be able to continue playing Dungeons & Dragons with this group. And I say that so sincerely. It's really tough to know what's going to happen in the future, what it'll be like, whether or not it'll even be possible with internet or whatever. But one of the cool things about D&D is that no matter what's happening in life, you just kind of make it work. Like, and it's a time to kind of escape some of the craziness and to enjoy time with your friends. And I think if we were to keep holding on to it even when it's tough, that's just such a good, yet again, another good message of, like, it's worth sticking in. It's like worth sticking to it and spending time with your friends. It pays off, and it's something we kind of all need, even when life is busy. And so and the same goes for this stream too. You're probably hearing some similarities in philosophy of this stream in the paper dungeon, because there is some. Wherever I end up, I really just want to. I really want to be available, and I really want to make the time for it. And I really do. I think this is important too. This isn't in an arrogant way. This isn't out of arrogance or out of just dreaming, but I completely believe that if the cast, and along with me, and for this stream, if I and us as a community, if we all really work hard and we are consistent and we care about it and we keep putting in, and we keep innovating and thinking, how can I make this even better for the community? How can I make this better for the viewer? How can I make this feel more like a family? Like, as that happens more and more, I completely, absolutely, confidently believe that there could be some wonderful journeys ahead of us with the stream. With the paper dungeon, as we improve, we're kind of rinky-dink right now, and that's okay. Like, we just started. We haven't even been streaming a year, and oftentimes it takes a lot longer. And we've been lucky enough to have a pretty decent, start. Oh, Jocelyn. Just thought I would let you know I've been listening, just not typing. Pog. I love the way you tell these stories and how you talk about how much you love this. Thank you so much. But I do have to go cram in my last minute of homework for tomorrow. Have a great rest of your stream. Jocelyn, good luck on the homework. Cram, cram, cram. You gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. Dude, that's tough. Best of luck. Yeah, you can. I give you permission to close my stream to finish your homework. You can do that. It does not offend me. Thank you for listening too. Man, this is something I care about. Oh, a hug. Hug Joss. Have a great night, Jocelyn. I'm almost done with this thought too, but thank you so much for listening. That means so much. Those kind words. Wow. Best of luck with your homework. Bye. 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 But yeah, I think it's oh yeah, this is what I was saying. I think I'm confident that if we put in the work as a community and as individuals on the Paper Dungeon, and as me as an individual on this stream, and the viewers and all of that, if all of us work hard, I think there could be incredible outcomes. Success is one thing, right? Like, success is, now I don't label success necessarily as this, but oftentimes when success is talked about, it means a lot of viewers, you know, income, like a really impressive stream and all that stuff. And I think that stuff comes with success. I think that's a product of it. But really, I would be quite sad, and I would feel quite empty if I ever got to that point, if it was with TPD or with this stream, and I didn't feel like I was really engaging with people, you know? I don't want it to just be a show. Like, I don't want it to just be I sit in front of a camera and make it interesting for people. I'm not dogging on that. Like, there's some really cool things with that. I'm not dogging on entertainment or people or anything like that. I'm not making any statements here. But just personally. Alright, I'm off to work. Have a good rest of your streaming. Good day. Thank you so much, Wander. Have a great time at work. It's always so wonderful for you to be here. And to wake up early for this, that means so much to me. Thank you. Have fun baking. I hope it's a wonderful day. I give you a hug. Hug, Wander. Have a good day. I'll see you again sometime. See you in the Discord, probably. But I would thank you for the hug, Wander. Have a great day. I think what would feel meaningful would feel like I'm doing something really wonderful if I were to get viewers or an income or anything from anything like this, whether it be with TPD or the stream. I think what would really be great is if I knew without a doubt that I had offered to the community something special. That there were people in the community that felt loved, that felt cared for. I want to be a good example for people. Like, and that's not arrogant to say, I don't think. Like, I want to consider things, and I want to better myself and challenge myself and go places and learn about the world and learn about people. And I want to offer the best I possibly can to the people here. You know, I want to be an example to people, an example of health, an example of good thinking, an example of faith, like an example of love, an example of care and hope and fruitfulness. Like, I want to be somebody that people can learn from. And I think that is such a wonderful goal. I think all of us could have that goal, you know? And I think that can carry over to the Paper Dungeon. Even if we're just a bunch of dweebs playing D&D, talking about characters and making puns. Like, even in that scenario, like, having a place where people, despite their differences, can sit together and enjoy each other's company and play a game and talk about it. It's just so wonderful. And I long for it. I long for it. I long to bring that kind of love and togetherness to people. Man, wouldn't that be wonderful? And that's what we can do with this stream. It's what we can do with this stream. That's what we can do with TPD. And man, it's not as simple as just saying it either, you know? I understand that. Man, there have been some really tough events in some of the lives of the TPD cast. Like, life is not easy. And there are some things that take a lot of attention and a lot of emotional, well, struggle, pain, a lot of emotional application. And despite that, we've still hung on to the paper dungeon. Even when it's really busy for us, even when we're really distracted, like, we've been able to say, this is something that's worth it. This is something that I want to do. This is something, and I care about the people that are here. I care about the people that I play with. I care about the audience and what they get out of this. Like, that is just that's so wonderful. That being said, a part of this kind of thinking is making sure that you are being healthy, that you are caring for yourself in a way that allows others to take part in it. So like with TPD, there's been a couple of times that some of us are missing from the stream. And it's not because, sometimes it's just because we're legitimately busy. I'd say most of the time it's because somebody legitimately can't make it. But every now and then somebody just needs a day off, and that's okay. You know, sometimes the whole cast needs a little bit of time off, and that's okay too. It's not because we don't enjoy it or because we think it's a chore. It's just because life, man. And so sometimes with this stream, like recently, if there are times when I'm not around for a little bit, it's not because I don't care about it or because I don't want to apply myself. It's just simply because I need to make sure that I'm taking care of my own health. And that way, that is just better for everybody here. That's better for me. That's better for the stream. Same with TPD. It's just better for everybody because then we have more to offer. It's just wonderful. So yeah, I kind of talked a little bit longer about it than I thought. That might be a highlight on the channel that's like an hour long. Hi YouTube. I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching that entire thing. I love you. Oh man. Yeah. Mornings are the best. I should wake up early more often. Like, stepping outside and seeing the blue sky and smelling the air. I think it rained recently. You know, hearing the birds chirping. It's just fantastic. There aren't as many people out. The cool air hits your face. It is just spectacular. I love the morning. I should get up early more often. Maybe that's a goal. It's so funny because I've been wanting to get my sleep in order a little bit more because sleep is so important. Sleep is so good for you. It's so good for you. Like, when you do it well. When you sleep regularly at like pretty much the same times and you get enough of it, it's really, really good for you. But sleep isn't very effective when it's not regular, when you don't get enough sleep. And so I've been really wanting to, hammer down on that and get better at it. And so iOS has this thing where you can set a bedtime and set as many hours as you like to sleep. And you can set it for individual days throughout the week, like what you prefer. And what my goal has been 11 p.m. in bed, going to sleep, and then waking up at 7 a.m. That's 8 hours. And it takes me a little while to fall asleep, so it's probably more like 7.5, sometimes even less. Some days I'm lucky and I fall asleep quick, but I've been doing a pretty poor job at sticking to that. A lot of the time I'll end up staying up quite a bit later and then having an alarm later in the day. But I really want to wake up at 7 a.m. every day because waking up early and getting a bunch of stuff done, like, okay, when you wake up early, one, you get that blue light in your eyes. It wakes you right up. It's part of your body's circadian rhythm. It helps you wake up. Part two, the morning is really enjoyable. It's slower. It's calmer. It's not a rushed feeling. Like, you can start the day well. you have time to do the things you need to do. Like I would have time to make food, to eat. I'd have time to, take a shower and do those kinds of things. And then I would have time in the morning to, at a relaxed pace, get things done that I'd like to get done. And then when I do that, it opens up the rest of the day for optional things, whether that be optional work that I want to do or that be optional activities. It opens my day so that my mind isn't as busy. I have that clean conscience that I've got some things done. It helps me with people. I feel like I can spend time with people comfortably and I'm not wasting time or I'm stressed about things. Like waking up early just has an insane number of perks, right? It's awesome. And so that's something I really want to work towards. Really, 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 really badly. And getting up today for the stream, because I'm trying something a little different, trying to meet some new people and help people who can't always make it because of nighttime make it, this getting up early today kind of helped me want to do it more. Like, iOS also with their bedtime thing, iOS with their bedtime in their clock app, the default alarm for the bedtime thing is so much better than any of the other alarms. I usually want an alarm that's really pleasant. So I hear it and I'm just like, oh, it's time to wake up. And I'm not like, oh, that's a horrible alarm. I want to start out that day with like, oh, yeah, I'm waking up. And the waking up one for the bedtime thing in the clock is like really pretty. It has some like bells and it like fades in and then it has some like strings. It's really, really wonderful. It's really pretty. It doesn't feel tacky. It's not annoying. It's just nice and it fades in and then you wake up to it. And there's been a couple times where I've woken up like, I think like a couple minutes after it started. I think that maybe happened like one time when I was really heavily sleeping. Like it's just so pleasant and you just wake up to it and you're like, oh. And then you wake up and there's like blue light flooding in your window, like just a little bit, and it feels great. But it kind of stinks when you didn't go to bed early enough and you feel super, super tired. And I've gotten in the habit of turning off an alarm and starting a later one, either like half an hour or an hour later, because I usually am optimistic and I want to wake up like an hour or more before my first thing. But then I'll push it later and I'll give myself like 20 minutes or something. And then I don't have enough time to make food. I just rush everything. I don't even like take my vitamins or do anything like that. Sometimes I don't even eat food and then I just go out the door and I'm there and I feel rushed. I'm still sleepy. It's not great. All of us have been there, right? All of us do that probably all the time. But if I could really hammer this down, sleep, it would help me with how awake I feel. It would help me with it would help me with nutrition and exercise. Like, dude, sleep is the time for your body to repair itself. And so if I'm working out and lifting weights and wanting to build a little bit, then I have to make sure that I'm giving my body what it needs to build itself, to repair itself. And then I need to make sure that I'm giving my body the time it needs to repair itself. And if I'm not getting sufficient sleep, my body isn't getting sufficient repairing. Like, that's just how it is. It's for the mind, for the body, it's just very, very, very important. And so that's one of the habits that I worked on during the few weeks that I didn't stream recently, was on those things, making sure that I'm getting enough sleep. Last night, I made sure I got enough sleep. And okay, this is weird though. So all that to say, sleep is important. Last night, it was so weird. Last night, I felt like jumpy throughout the night, or I don't know, if like on edge. Like, maybe it wasn't quite like, maybe it was kind of like a little mix of anxiety and stress. And I don't know what it was. It was so weird. It was so weird. Maybe I had a spooky dream that I couldn't remember. Maybe some things were on my mind before I went to bed that made me uncomfortable. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't great. And I was just trying to sleep and my mind just wouldn't shut off. It was just the worst. And it was so bad. And I went to bed, I think at like I tried to go to bed at like 10 something. It was like just past 10, I think. Maybe 10:30ish. And then I was on my phone a little bit. You know, I stopped in on Ghost's stream. I hosted Ghost's stream. I'm typing it in chat. I'm actually a ghost. They're wonderful. They're a very good friend of one of my mods. They're very kind. They're awesome. Go check them out. But I was on their stream last night a little bit. I played a little bit of Polytopia too. I don't know if you've seen that. I think I might play some Polytopia on stream sometime. I like Polytopia. But I watched that and then I went to bed and I just could not sleep. It's been like kind of warm, so maybe I thought I was too warm for a time. But I couldn't sleep and I was up probably past midnight. I wasn't checking my phone because I wanted to fall asleep and it was just awful. And then I was waking up. I woke up a couple times in the middle of the night and I just felt like anxious or like this like on edge. It was so uncomfortable and I would try to talk myself out of it, like just fall asleep, try to clear your mind, but I couldn't get comfortable and my chest just felt kind of tight. It's just the worst. And I didn't know why. But then eventually getting up out of bed and doing my stuff and then getting here, I feel a lot better now, you know. Stream nerves. There's always stream nerves. There's always probably going to be stream nerves, you know. Like, it's just the anticipation of people are going to be watching me. If I get that CBD oil, it's usually my go-to. Yeah, I've heard that does wonders. I've heard that does really good. Thankfully, I'm one of the few lucky ones where that isn't a super common problem for me. But recently just falling asleep and stuff. I also had coffee yesterday. I think I had quite a bit of coffee and I've been trying to get off it. So I think my body was also probably like, I've been off caffeine. What is happening? Like, I can't fall asleep. My mind is going. My heart won't stop. Like, I'm guessing caffeine had something to do with it too. Or I put on some lavender oil and stuff to chill. Ooh, yeah. That sounds nice. I can't believe you're still here, Libs. That's awesome. Yeah. That would be nice too. I should get some essential oils or something. I've also been sick for like a week. Like my nose is plugged. You've probably heard me sniff it and stuff. Just been lurking and doing some dynamics. Ooh, dynamics. Very cool. Thanks for the lurk. You're the best. But Skylibs, I mean this. I have a diffuser and it smells great. Yum. My tummy is growling. A diffuser. Yum. I should get a diffuser or something. We could have a diffuser in here maybe on the little table. Because I really want a little table. I don't have the money for a little table. They're kind of expensive. Like little bedside tables. And I want to find one that looks kind of nice too. I might go to like a thrift store. Thrift stores are freaking pog. I might go to the thrift store and find something. I'm pretty sure that this sweater, look at this sweater. You can't really see it, the pattern very well. It's a big old sweater though. Sweater guy. This sweater, I'm pretty sure I got it from a Goodwill. And I used to longboard a lot in high school. And before high school, like before longboarding was really popular, I kind of picked it up because I had, hey, PokeNoob, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Do you have Pokemon Go? I play Pokemon Go. I should get like my user and like share it, maybe. But anyways, I was just saying, what was I saying? I was talking about the sweater. Oh yeah, I was longboarding from a pretty young age because I tried skateboarding and I couldn't do really well, like in like middle school. No, like grade school. Like I was young. I was really young. And then I had cousins in Minnesota who had really long boards that would go out sometimes. And then when I was like, goodness, I was probably like 12 or maybe a little, yeah, probably a little maybe older. That was so 17. Pokemon Go's over. That was so 2017. Okay, that's fair. I don't play it very often. I just send gifts and stuff sometimes to people. And I have some friends who are really into it back in my hometown. So sometimes they'll like invite me to raids and stuff. And so sometimes I'll do it, but I don't play it very often. Just like recreationally, I guess. Um, but then in high school, I did it more, and then my parents for my birthday paid for half of a nicer longboard, and so I used to wear this sweater. I had like the outfit that I'd wear whenever I'd go out, and like it'd usually be during sunset or in the morning when the sun was rising, just going out with some friends and just cruising and seeing the nature and stuff. Or riding around at night through the town with the pretty lights. We'd do that stuff, but I would almost always wear like this sweater, some jeans with holes ripped in the knees, like legitimate holes. Like they were nice jeans, and then they just got ripped up. And then I had these like old ratty Vans that had holes in them, and I had a beanie, and that was like what I would always wear. It was really wonderful. And so this sweater is just kind of sentimental. Like it's just been with me for a long time, and I hope I have it forever. I really like it. Oopsie. Yeah, so I really like it. But as far as the little table, I might go to a thrift store and find something, because then I just love to have something a little decorative right now, right here. I'm literally, I don't know if I've said this, I'm literally streaming out of a storage closet. We don't, first of all, in the little house I'm living in with the team, I don't really have very good internet as it is. Like Skylibs, when I popped into your stream, I was on audio only most of the time. Storage closet, yes. And then now I'm in that was back when I was at my little house that's right across the street. Now I'm in the main like team's like building, but there's not really a place here that isn't very public except for this room. And so I have an Ethernet cable running from the router like upstairs through the floor, because there's like a hole in the floor where a pipe goes in, and it goes like through the floor and like down across the hallway and like into the storage closet. And so there's like I can show you guys, there's like closets or shelves, not closets, shelves full of stuff just around me. Just around me. It's awesome. And so I like it though. I mean, I'm kind of making it home, honestly. Like these lights are kind of new. And I want to get some more decorations. This is where I stream the Paper Dungeon too. I have Edison, like a Edison bulb light string that I'm going to like hang behind me. It'll be really pretty. I can change the colors, you know, of this thing. I don't know quite which color is the best yet. That's pretty nice, but it doesn't really work with my skin tone. I used to have purple before, like in this lamp. I used to have purple shining on the bricks, but it doesn't really work with my skin tone. So these are brand new, these lights behind me. And so I'm still figuring out like what light kind of works. I think green so far is like the best, but I don't know if I want to be green. You know what I mean? Anyways, this is like brand new though. I'm just getting started. There's an Ethernet port like 20 centimeters away from my laptop, so it's handy. Wow, what? That is like when the stars align. That is awesome. That is fantastic. I mean, that is great. Once you have like, when things work perfectly, like let's say you're moving a couch or you're moving your bed or something, and you move it and there's the port or like the plug-in like perfectly where you need it. That's one of the best feelings. I forgot how that felt. That doesn't happen very often. In here, there's like only a couple outlets, and so I have a bunch of like I have an extension cord that leads to like an outlet. I have a couple like strips that I use because there's hardly any outlets in here. Also, I'm streaming off of an early 2015 MacBook Pro, which is like 6 years old or so, and so that's part of the reason why I'm not streaming games right now, because my hardware can't handle it. It just can't. And so I was like, yeah, right. And so I was like, well, I want to stream because I stream on the Paper Dungeon. I've been doing that for what, 8 months or something. Actually, probably more. I think it's probably like 10 months. Like it's probably going to be a year soon, but I've been streaming for a while, and I was like, I really want to build a really positive community, and I want to support small streamers. And I was like, well, I have a camera, I have a laptop, I have an Ethernet cable, and I have some other small things like a mic and this stuff. I was like, I have the stuff, like what am I waiting for? You know, I'd love to play Minecraft, the block game. I really enjoy that game. I'd love to learn other games. I'd love to collab with a lot of streamers and play games, but like I just don't have the hardware for it. And so what I've learned though, I'm like kind of shocked is okay, so I don't know if this is I think this is probably true of like almost every streamer. But or a lot of streamers, but it's kind of crazy how willing people are to help. Like it kind of blows my mind. I think it helps when you have a kind disposition anyways, like a welcoming disposition with your stream, and when your community is very positive, it attracts positive, generous people. Like I didn't yeah, there's some insane communities on here. Fact. I'm kind of shocked at how much people have wanted to help. I just expected a bunch of, you know, just chatting streams with maybe a few people, which is kind of happening, I guess. But there has been some really, really great times, like with people with the stream, with generosity. I've only been affiliate for a little bit, and people have been cracked, man. People have popped off, and it's just so, I don't know, it's like humbling. It's like, it's just cool. It's cool. It makes me want to be more generous. And I think it helps too. Like, I really enjoy being generous on other people's streams. And so I know that there have been people who have helped me out just because they've seen that I've helped them or I've helped other streamers. And I think that kind of stuff goes a long way. But I think that sooner than I thought, I might be able to, like, be able to play games on here. Like, so what I'm thinking is I'm going to probably need a really nice laptop at some point. A really nice laptop that can handle games and things. And the reason is I'm going to be traveling a lot. I don't know how much I'll be traveling or for how long, but a laptop would be a great place to start because I don't want to lug around a really nice PC. Laptops are typically more expensive because of the size for the package, and laptops can be tricky to really find ones that are good. But I've been doing a lot of research, and I think I found a couple that I think will work. I have a Nitro 5 Acer laptop, and it's almost dead after a few years of heavy simulation work. Wow, really? It's only been a few years. Now, a few years is pretty good, and heavy simulation work is not, that's not a small task for a computer. So, I mean, pog that it could actually do that, that's pretty cool. Are you thinking about getting a new one soon? Streaming as well has helped kill it. Yeah, I would imagine. So yeah, it's beefy. Good. I really want to get one. I mean, I care if it lasts for a while for sure, but I'm looking at PCs, but the market is so crazy right now. I know, with coronavirus and stuff, prices have gone up, availability has gone down, which is part of the reason why prices have gone up, and like people are reselling. It's crazy. I totally understand. This webcam that I got like in near pretty much the beginning of the pandemic for the paper dungeon, I had to get it like I think like $70 or something above market price because they were being resold and they weren't available by Logitech. So I have a Logitech C920. It's pretty good. I mean, it does its job. You can tell it's pretty nice. My first webcam has gone like 200% in cost. I understand. I got my first one for $15. Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. That's pretty great. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I could get a nice one early so I wouldn't have to, upgrade later. And I think it does its job. Someday I'll probably upgrade everything, but I'm so flippin' happy with what I have. Like, it all works, It does the job. It gets from point A to point B. But literally, I don't exaggerate when I say this. My Mac right now can, like, only handle really having my camera open, like the software for my camera to like adjust the what's it called, settings, and then Streamlabs takes up a ton of it, like a ton of its RAM, a ton of its ability, and then Spotify for the music. I can't really do anything on Safari. I can't really do anything on any other app. Even changing the okay, for example, raiding. Like, when I want to do a raid, it usually takes like 5 minutes. like to actually raid somebody because it's just really slow and I can't really change songs on Spotify sometimes. Like, and I'm not complaining. Like, it all works. It does its job. But when it comes a time that I have saved enough to upgrade, which will probably be in like a year, once it comes that time, it'll be so hype. Not just for me, but for the entire community. Like, the Philo fam. It's going to be so hype because we're just going to be able to play games and play with other streamers and vibe. I'm so excited. And so I think the best possible thing I could have done now is to start streaming as it was, just go in, you know, and then try to make it as best I can before I get to that point. You know, make connections with people, make friends on stream, build a community, figure out, you know, what it'll look like, you know, all that stuff. And we're still very early on, you know. We're still figuring it out, but I'm happy about it. Streamlabs it's insane to run. Yeah, for real. My poor little MacBook. I love it. But okay, get this. I think I'm probably going to switch over to Windows when I get my new laptop. Now, I'd have a Windows laptop and a Mac. You know, I'd keep this MacBook 2016. Windows is great, I know. Now, okay, there's a couple challenges. One, I use an iPad for work, but always Windows for laptops and PCs. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This laptop I got from my older brother. I've grown up on Apple using iOS, and now I've been using this MacBook for years and years, so I understand how it works for the most part. And the new MacBook's M1 chips are cracked. Like, BRB, no worries. The new laptops that Apple is coming out with are insane. They're so good. They're very good. Not in that's just how it is. Like, it's not like, it's not just because I'm an Apple fan that I think that. Like, it's actually true, like, looking into it. But there are also very, very, very good Windows laptops. The tough part with Windows is you have to sift through all of the not very good laptops or the over-promising laptops to find the legitimately very good laptops. So I've been doing a lot of research, and I think I've landed on where I want to be. But considering that I might be getting a laptop in like a year, depending on how well I save or how well the stream does, then it might be different then, you know, what I'm going to get. But the thing with switching from Mac to Windows is that even though it's really nice because I have iOS on my phone and I have my MacBook that shares like different software capabilities and features, there are some weird things with Mac, as you know, like some games I can't play on Mac. Like, for example, Among Us. If people wanted me to stream Among Us, I'd have to do it on my phone, which isn't very, like, it's not very consistent. I'd be booted out of the game probably pretty often because that just happens on mobile. The quality probably wouldn't be as fantastic. I don't even know if I could do that. You can't do Among Us on Mac? No. Among Us is only Windows. And so I won't be able to stream Among Us if I get a MacBook, you know, unless I get some kind of Windows emulator. And that's the other point, is that's so weird. Wow, isn't it sad? But that's the other thing, is with Mac, there are just some weird workarounds you have to do. Like, for example, Mac has a different, like, audio, like, external audio system than Windows does. And so for Streamlabs, I had to get, hey, love, welcome back, love. I love that. I'm talking about maybe a new laptop sometime in the future and switching from Mac to Windows. And so I'm just talking about some of the problems with Macs. But one of the issues with Mac is that their audio output system is different than Windows. And so for Streamlabs, I had to get something, a software called was Black Hole 2CH. And what that does is it allows you to have two different audio outputs at one time. So now I can listen to it through my headphones, and I can listen to it on, and then the stream gets to hear it too. That's how it can record my desktop audio. It has been a minute, love. Yes, I'll get to that. real quick. But the thing is, I can't control how loud it is in my ears, and I can't hear how loud it is for stream. So like I kind of have to look at the levels and mess with the in Spotify audio to kind of adjust it and stuff like that. So that's just a small example of different workarounds with Mac. There is one negative though. One negative is that I have like Premiere Pro and I have Ableton, which I've paid for both of those. Um, and granted, I'm assuming that my Premiere subscription is almost over. Um, and so I maybe I should renew it soon, because I think I'm almost certain. I'm like 85% sure that maybe even 90% sure that if I switch to Windows, I'll have to purchase the softwares that I have again to work for Windows. Because I doubt I can use the same code that was used for the Mac download as I could for the Windows download, just because of how things function and how they do things. So that's a negative. Like when I have to consider upgrading to a new laptop so that I can play games on stream, I have to also consider like software and stuff like that, which I don't have to have right away, but that's just part of it. And so yeah, but even though it's tough for me because I'm so used to MacBook and I've enjoyed using it for the most part, Windows just makes more sense because it can run any game on Steam pretty much. Like it can run games on Steam. I don't have to do weird workaround stuff. I have this thing called Crossover, which I got for some like community building stuff with support raising and things, which I've had to do, that could run a Windows program because I didn't have it for Mac. Because it didn't have that program for Mac, and so I had to get like this Crossover thing. I wouldn't have any of that with Windows. Like I'd just be able to plug in and do my thing, and there wouldn't be as much troubleshooting, and it would allow me to learn Windows before I get a PC. Like there's just more pros with Windows. And so if I save enough money over the next year and the stream goes well too, then I'll be able to make a good decision, get a very nice laptop that can handle a lot, and start from there. And then someday, once I'm more settled and I'm certain that I'll be in a place for a little while, like if I move to Italy and I think I'll be there for a year or two or something like that, then I would totally get a PC, something that's a little more there. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking anyways, but I think I'll probably switch to Mac soon. Yeah, love, it has been a while. Basically, yeah, it was a few weeks that I didn't stream, and that was mostly because I was just developing good habits. Like when I got back from when I got here in January, I had a lot of bad habits when I was back home, just like habits that weren't the best. Like my nutrition wasn't very good, my sleep wasn't very good, my social interaction wasn't very good. Like not that I was like doing bad things, like, but it just wasn't what it could be. And so getting here, I talked earlier on stream about how much stuff is going on and like kind of what my life looks like and what I'm doing and what I hope to do. And one of the ideas behind the community is that I want to be able to be healthy, and so that I can offer my best for you guys, not entertainment wise, like personally. I want to live a good example for people, and I want to show people what health looks like and what good social interaction looks like, and give people a really meaningful opportunity. So yeah, life happens. So like it was just a time for me to really hammer down on some habits and form some new habits. Like my nutrition is a lot better. I've been working on my sleep more. I've been drinking more water instead of other things. My social interaction is better with people. I have a morning routine. I've worked on the stream a little bit. I'm sure you can tell it's a little different. There's some more stuff. Look, there's channel points and things. Just all together, I am better now than I was when I was on stream. And last time, like, I streamed 7 times, I think I streamed 7 times before I was gone for just a little bit. And really the purpose of those streams were to get the channel set up. Like I really wanted to go at it and to make it good and to go for it. And we did that. And look where we got. We're at 78 followers. It's pretty freaking poggers. And so then after that time though, I was like, all right, now that the stream is set up, we've built a community, we've got our feet, we've like set it up, we've got a foothold. I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna make sure that I have everything in order so that I can do this well and I don't overbear myself. And so that's kind of what I did, and I feel a lot better because of it. It'll be pretty flippin' awesome from here on out, I think. Oh, I've stopped drinking coffee and switched to green tea. That is an amazing switch. That is so good. Yeah, coffee. I mean, coffee is totally okay in moderation, but to have it a lot, like, it does kind of mess with your body. Hey, Obanobi. Obanobi. I love your name. Obanobi is such an awesome name. Hey, look. Look at my new lights. Look at what I did. Isn't it awesome? The transparency zone. That's what I call this little box, is the transparency zone. Yeah, I got some rope lights. I was originally going to hang them up on the brick here, but on the side of the brick, you can see the little wall. But I almost said aesthetic. The adhesive doesn't work very well, like on the brick, which is to be expected. I've looked into some like extra strength mounting tape, which exists. Like I could hang them up on the brick, and I might do it later, but I kind of like the gradient of bottom up. I think it would probably be better than a gradient to the side. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's how I feel about it. And then I also got this Edison bulb light, right? That's shining a warm light on the bricks now instead of like a purpley one. And I have a light on over there too, you know, kind of fill it out too. And then what else? I have these, oopsies, which I tested last stream. They're Edison bulb string lights, and they are so pretty. And so what I'm planning on doing with these is kind of hanging them up, like, it's hard to do this, like this, you know, like kind of hanging them up like that. Maybe having them droop down on the brick or something, making it really pretty. Like that's kind of what I want to do there. I mean, it's just more healthy. Not saying coffee is bad. It's just more healthier. Facts. Yeah, that's just how it is. So I guess literally what you just said is a good way to describe how my 3 weeks were like. It was like, it's not that it was unhealthy or that I had particularly bad habits before, but now I just have better habits and they can set me up for like future stuff. Guys, it has been a really chill morning. Like, so this is a morning stream. This is the first morning stream I've ever done. All of my other streams have been in the evening. And I did it for a couple reasons. One, we have friends, we have parts of the family from other parts of the world. And so for some people when I normally stream, it's like in the middle of the night for them. And so it's like really tough for them to make the stream, or they have to sacrifice some of their sleep to be there. And so I wanted to kind of, and my diet has changed so much. Yeah, I understand. It's crazy how much a diet does. But I wanted to give people the chance to sit in at a different time. I wanted to meet some new people. We've had some new people pop into the stream, and stuff like that. And I wanted to meet some new people because in other parts of the world, like when I stream in the morning, it's the evening for them. And so it's more likely they'll be on, and I just thought it'd be a cool experience. Plus, being up early in the morning is so pog. It's so wonderful. I just love early morning. I'm not good at waking up early. I'm not good at that. But once I like step outside and feel the cool morning air and I see the light and I hear the birds, like then I'm living. So I really love early morning. I'm just not very good at waking up early. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of how it is. And so I really wanted to change that. I want to sleep. I want to have a more regular sleep schedule and wake up I would love to wake up every day at 7 a.m. That's kind of my goal. It's 7:30 a.m. for you, poggers. It's 9:30 for me. So you're 2 hours before me. That would put you at CST, EST, SMT, Standard Mountain Time. Is that what it's called? 15:28. So that would be 3:28 p.m. for us. Yeah, 15:28. Wow. Okay, so you're somewhere you're somewhere in Europe then, probably. I forget where you're from, Obanobi. Was it England? Was that what it was? Am I completely wrong? I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I can't remember. Italy. Italy. I remember. Okay, Obanobi. I literally was talking about this earlier. I'm I think Obanobi. I think that sometime after this year, because I'm here in Louisville for a year until December, and then I'm probably gonna move back to my hometown for a bit, pay off my debt. I don't have a lot of it, just pay off some of my school debt, and then I'm. This might change. Okay, it's not for certain, but I'm starting to get more and more set on moving to Italy for a while. I don't know how long. I'll probably get some roommates who are in school, like university. I'd probably find some people looking for roommates. That would probably be easy. I don't know where yet. I had a friend who lived in Viterbo. Sorry about my accent, Viterbo. Um, and I don't know if you know where that is. It was kind of close to Rome. I don't know where I'd end up. I know some people from Ancona. I know people in Ancona, Italy. I know some people in Sicily. Not well. I know of people there. So I have a couple options. One, I could work with a team that I know that are there. Oh, and I have big news, but it's big news to me. It might not be to you. Hey, it might be. Hey, you should let us know. Maybe south, maybe north, probably south. Probably more south. More actually, maybe more central Italy. I don't know yet, but I would love to live near the coast. I'll have to look around, see what housing is like and stuff like that. But I would love to go to Italy and live with some Italian roommates. South is the best? Good to know. Okay, I'll have to go south. That's the kind of feedback I need. And I'd love to just live with some people, meet friends. So I graduate on May 22nd. Wow. Graduate high school? High school graduation? My sister is also my younger sister is graduating really soon, and I'm going to be going back to my hometown very soon from like the week of May 10th this year. Wow. That is awesome. Is that like bittersweet? Are you excited? Are you sad? Are you planning on going to school at a college soon? I'm going to repeat this year. Hey, no worries. Sometimes you got to do that. No worries. I failed a couple classes my freshman year of college. The first semester I failed a couple classes because there was just so much going on, and I just didn't keep up, and there was some miscommunication on finals and deadlines and things. It was really sad. And so I had to retake those classes the second semester. I completed them the second semester, but that was tough. That was tough. I understand. But yeah, I'll probably end up living in Italy for a time just to learn the culture, feel what it's like being in a new place. I think streaming from Italy would be really cool. I'd be able to learn the culture, meet friends. And I think that would really set me up well for whatever is after that, and I just really love the Italian culture. I had a really, really good friend from Italy while they were here as a foreign exchange student, and just hearing about it and knowing people from there, it sounds like a dream. And I know not everything is perfect, but I mean, the architecture there is beautiful. It's near the beach, the coast, which I've always wanted to be near. Not always, but I've recently really thought the beach is cool. I'm from Nebraska, the smack dab of the middle of the US, and so I'm not used to beaches. Just and also the culture, sitting and talking, and the food and all that stuff. It just sounds amazing. Well, I can't really do college. College isn't fit for me, and I'm thinking about moving to the coast of Maine. Oh, okay. I've heard Maine is really, really pretty. I think you should go for it. I mean, I don't know what your life looks like. I don't know what you're thinking or what you would like to do, but really, like, going places and making friends and living an experiential life, I think, is really important. I think you should go for it. And maybe someday, if college isn't fit for you right now, maybe someday it will be. And if college isn't the route you take and you find something different that you're passionate about, where you can apply yourself and really enjoy your life, then that would be pog too. But remember that you're an American. Old people will hate you. That's okay. Old people can hate me. That's okay. I'll be really nice to them still. I won't be mean to old people back, and it's okay if they hate me. But making friends that are my age and stuff like that, and I mean, if there are old people that happen to like me, I would love that. Then I'd love to talk to some old people. It just sounds awesome, and it sounds challenging. Like, I was originally planning before this year on going to Italy, and then that changed pretty quickly to Taiwan because of the organization I'm with. And then I was gonna go to Taiwan, and then because of because of the coronavirus, it was postponed. So I was in my hometown for like 18 months preparing to go, and it just took a long time. And then because of tensions between China and Taiwan, Taiwan was no longer an optimal place for me to go. This was like 2 weeks before I was gonna go there in December of last year. Um, and so then I talked to them, and this place in Louisville, this like little course thing in Louisville with the team here, was like the best option. And so now I'm here, and it is kind of sad in some ways. Like, it was, man, there's a lot of buildup and a lot of patience and waiting to being overseas and working with a team and being in a culture and learning Mandarin. Like, it was all very daunting and very exciting. Louisville has some similar aspects. Like, I'm living in the inner city of Louisville, like straight up pretty much in the hood, like the project. And it's pretty different than what I'm used to. I got a street name and everything. It's wonderful. And so living with the team here, where there's a lot of drug use and homelessness and prostitution and a lot of people in a lot of pain, like being here where you can help provide for people with food and share what you've learned, like it's a really wonderful experience. And so I'm taking things that I'm learning here. I know without a doubt that, one, it was worth the wait, and two, the things that I'm learning here I will be carrying with me for the rest of my life, and it'll be always applicable. And so in a similar thought, I think going to Italy and living there for a time in a place that's different, you know, a place where I'll have to talk to people and do things that are uncomfortable, a place where I'll have to learn a language and figure things out and make things work, even though I'm in a different country with different rules. That would develop skills in me that I'd be able to carry to other places. When I go to other cultures, I've done it. You know, I feel much more confident about going somewhere than I did before I came to Louisville. Like, I feel way more confident about being able to thrive in another culture after being here for a time. So that's kind of why I'm considering maybe Italy for a little bit. And then maybe after that, whether that's with the organization or without, then I might be with an organization somewhere else, or I might go somewhere else where I know people. I don't know. So it's all up in the air. I don't have to have that figured out right now. I like cultures too. I want to go like everywhere. Obanobi, that's one of the things that this stream is for. As I travel, I want to talk about cultures. I want to talk about paths of human thought and human experience and just differences in humanity. I want to learn. I want to share what I learned with people. I want to go a bunch of different places, and Italy might be where it starts, you know? Louisville is where it starts. This is where it's starting, right here, you know? Yeah, but I visited the Netherlands. Ooh, I have ancestry from around that part of Europe, and I might move there later on. That would be really pretty. That part of the world is just gorgeous. You'll eat really good food, yes. In Italy or in the Netherlands, I bet. Taiwan is almost all just homemade seafood and like soups and oh man, and pasta and rice, like noodles, I guess, and rice and stuff. I was so excited for that. It's probably pretty healthy too there because it's all like homemade. That's one positive about Italy, is that it's really, really high carbs and stuff or whatever, and there's sugar and stuff and a lot of stuff, but for the most part, everything is homemade. Like, as far as I understand it, things aren't really processed. Not like America. Like, America just has a lot of junk food. And, dude, I'd learn how to make homemade pasta, stuff like that. I'd love to live in Italy. I think it would be just such a blast. It'd be so unique to me. It's like a dream of mine to just be somewhere different and be somebody different. Like, in Italy, I'm sure there's plenty of Americans. There's a lot of tourism and stuff like that. And so it's not like being an American is weird in Italy. But I would just be in a different place, and I'd be from a different place. And that is just really interesting to me. I think it'd be cool. But I really want to promote, like, going to other cultures. Like, Obanobi, you said you want to go to the other cultures. Man, do it. Like, do it. It helps shape people. Like, it helps us understand the world and one another. And it helps us develop ourselves. Like, I'm really, really big into that. It's one of my passions. I just want a new change. I've lived in the middle of Colorado almost my whole life, and it's time for a change. I understand. Colorado is pretty close to Nebraska. Colorado is really, really pretty, but I guess anywhere you are, like, it could get old after a little while, and I understand. I hope you enjoy, if you go to Maine or wherever you end up, I hope you enjoy it. Like, and also, even moving to a different part of the country is so different. Like, political views and how people live and stuff like that. Like, it's different everywhere you go. I don't know this place. LOL. America's another world for me. Hey, no worries. Italy's kind of another world for me. America's also, like, huge. America's huge. And so, like, or the USA, yeah. And so, like, the states, I always have to specify. Like, when I say I'm from Nebraska, I almost always say that's like smack dab in the middle of the country, because I know that people probably don't know. Some people don't know, especially Nebraska. It's like not very popular, I guess. But, and then when I say, like, if I'm talking to somebody that was from Arizona, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's like southeast kind of in the state, you know, or the country. I always make sure I point that out. Well, I live in a rough part of town. Oh yeah, that's too bad. That's too bad. Well, if you really, if it's really tough on you, I encourage you to go see other places. Like, and it's okay if you don't have a lot of money. Like, that's totally fine. I don't have much. Literally, all of the stuff I own pretty much fits in a carry-on for a plane, and then a checking bag, and then a backpack. Like, pretty much everything I know fits in that. Like, I got rid of pretty much everything I own when I left my hometown and came here. So it's okay if you don't have much. In my opinion, it's way better to live a life of generosity and simplicity. Like, it's just better. In my opinion, it's more enjoyable. And so being able to pick up and go, that's like a dream. I live in a really little town near a castle. Obanobi. Oh my goodness, I missed. Literally, Obanobi. That is the most pog thing. You don't understand. I know you're probably like, yeah, whatever. It's whatever. You know, there are just castles around here. They're just old rocks, right? Dude, that is so cool. I live with cornfields and tractors. That's like what I'm used to. When my friend from Italy was in America, they were showing me they're showing me pictures of Viterbo. Am I saying that? Viterbo. And it is so pretty. Okay, for love. No, man, I love history. Okay, epic, dude. And they're so pretty. Like, it's like a fairy tale. Like, oh yeah, I just live near a castle. Like, okay. Like, I want to do that. That sounds awesome. Can I poop on you? I prefer you didn't. I'm not really into that stuff. Thanks, Sleepy Robot, for the wonderful question, though. Love. Well, all of my years of high school years, I've worked as much hours a week as I can so I can make this change. Yeah, hard work, man. Working for good things is totally worth it. Viterbo is a medieval city. If I'm wrong, correct me. Sounds right. I mean, they have a castle right there. I think it's, like, literally part of it. But yeah, that's... Man, it's just so cool to me. What was I saying? About... Oh, yeah. For love and Sleepy, anybody here, remember that scene in Tangled? If you've seen Tangled, the movie, where it's near the end, I think. This is like the second half. They're in the city. They're dancing. She gets flowers in her hair, and there's that sun mosaic in the floor, and it's really pretty. And there's like a castle on the hill. Literally, there are villages in Italy that flippin' look like that. Like, when I saw pictures of Viterbo and whatever else, literally, dude, it reminded me exactly of that scene in Tangled. It's magical. It's like fantasy. It's gorgeous. Italy just sounds awesome. This sounds so pretty. Yes, you remember. In a castle near me, Napoleon slept there for a night. Oh my goodness. That is history. That is history. And also, like, religious history. There's so much religious history in Europe. Mostly, like, medieval, like, Christianity and stuff, which just was horrible. It was just awful. Like, oh my goodness. Man, the Christians really messed up the world at that time. But before that, there was some really, really amazing Christian activities. And then post medieval times, it's been good-ish. It's getting better. But yeah, also just that stuff is really interesting. Like all of the religious history in the Roman Empire, all that stuff. It's cool to me. I'm a nerd. In America, you have like nothing. Yeah, yes and no. Like, I mean, there are some really beautiful, but America has so much history. It's actually pretty interesting. Yeah. So America has a lot of really interesting recent history, like, but we don't have much ancient history. Sadly, part of that reason is because like when Europe came over to America, like they really mistreated the Native Americans. I don't know how much you know about that, but the Native Americans were essentially pushed out of their home and like pretty much a genocide of Indians, and it's just hydrate. Thank you. Thank you. Everyone hydrate. Yeah, channel points, new channel points. That's exciting. But there is some really interesting American history since then, and America also has some pretty incredible feats as far as like human structures. There's a lot of amazing like nature in America because it's such a big place. Of course, there's going to be. So America has some stuff, but it's definitely not. It's not like ancient history or ancient architecture or anything like that. We have Vaticano, LOL, the most religious place in the world. Yeah, the Vatican. Yeah, the Vatican is interesting. That's the head of the Catholic Church worldwide, right? As far as I understand it. There's also like Israel. Israel's a big hub for several religions. I mean, the Christian religion has a lot of history in that part, at least prior to like Jesus and stuff. Jesus was there, I guess. And then Muslim, they have Jewish history, and then Jewish obviously is there. There's a lot of stuff. Far West, the Civil War, and natives. Yes, that's kind of what we got. You kind of nailed it. In Boston, there's ancient buildings there, and in Chicago, there are like old forts and stuff. Do you mean ancient buildings like Native American? Like stuff like that? I know there are some like very old, like hundreds of years old, like old forts and cabins and things that some founding fathers have lived in and stuff like that. I wish I knew more though. I wish I knew more. There's some interesting history, sure. I mean, in America, for sure. And America's kind of been wild politically recently. Like, I'm sure you guys hear about it on the news. Like, the stuff that's going on. Some of it's good. Some of it's really good. Some of it's just, it blows my mind. Like, it's pretty bizarre. It's pretty bizarre at this time. I really, really want to go to Mexico as well. Just if you go here, don't talk about World War II. Okay, good call. I won't talk about World War II. I won't. Thank you for letting me know. Limestone is very rare, and only few buildings in Chicago that they can't take it down. Gotcha. In Chicago, they have very old buildings made of limestone. That is really cool. I bet they're beautiful. Man, old buildings, old architecture just makes my heart skip, man. I won't talk about World War II in Italy. That makes sense to me. I'll make sure to stay off that topic. And if somebody asks me, I mean, shoot, I wasn't around. Like, I don't know. I've had like I'd say six bestest friends in my life that were like brothers to me. Like throughout my 21 years, I've had maybe like 6 best friends. Which sounds like a lot, but when you spread it out, like that's one every 3 or 4 years. We have a lot of things from the Roman Empire. Yes, that too. A lot of historical like temples and stuff like that. Man, that's so cool. I want to see it someday. But 4 out of those 6 bestest friends have been Hispanic. One was Ecuadorian, one had Guatemalan heritage, one was Mexican. Actually, 2 were Mexican. And I've had a friend that's Spanish too. They weren't like a best friend, but they were a friend. Nonetheless, several of my best friends throughout my life have been Hispanic. And so I really would love to go to a Hispanic culture and maybe live there for a bit. I think I might do well. Like, not just do well as far as people being impressed with me. That's not what I mean. I mean do well as in enjoy it and make friends. I mean, no hate, but you guys are just mad. Oh no. Now listen, I don't want to make any generalizations about political history, right? I don't want to make any generalizations. Like, that was a long time ago, and we got to be fair here. America has a version of history. Italy has an understanding of history. Germany has an understanding of history. Like, we all have different understandings of how it happened, partially because of how it's been talked to us, the different legends or whatever that have been passed on. And I don't want to make any bold statements about anybody, you know. We was poor, really poor. Like, really, it was a dark time for everybody. It wasn't good. It just wasn't good. No, wait, but I think America's the worst country. Yeah, there's a lot of contrasting opinions. It's tough, you know, freedom, and then what is freedom and stuff. And there are some places that have some really, really dark things happening with the government and genocides. Like, I really just think we shouldn't focus on what separates us, and we shouldn't judge people based on their upbringing, but really we should take everything into account and understand that everybody has their own challenges. Every country has their strongs, their pros, and every country has their cons, and that's just how it is. Different places have different things, and I would prefer if we didn't get on an argument, you know, about whether or not Italy's better or America's better or anything about that. Like, I really just don't want to get into that, really. Yeah, so we have to be fair too, love. Like, in history, America's done some shady things, like things that we don't really know about. And some things that we do know about that just isn't talked about. Like, America isn't really very great either. Like, as far as when you observe history and stuff like that. And I think probably every country has some dirt, you know. It's also different based on who you learn from and how you perceive it, but it's just a dark topic. Like, when you observe war and you observe international problems, I think it's fair to say that it's dark for everybody. Like, in the end of it, like, it's important to understand that there are people that absolutely do things that they shouldn't do, like genociding your own people. Like, that's definitely not okay for rulers to do. Like, that shouldn't happen. But when it comes to war, everybody's affected by it. You know, everybody hurts. The Great Depression happened in America around that time, and that was really hard for Americans. And it's not because of anybody per se, it's just because of the world events. So everybody suffered, and I wish we could be better at breaking down the walls between nations and the walls between people, and just understand that we all have needs. and we all should aim to meet each other's needs. Like, that's what I wish it could be. And so part of the thing with going to other cultures, like we were talking about Obanobi, was when we go to other cultures, we help break down those walls in our own hearts. It helps us understand other people, and then it helps us teach other people how to break down those walls too. You know, like, I don't want to see, you know, I don't want to be somebody who determines or assumes things about people because of their nationality or because of their race or anything like that. You know, I want to be somebody who sees people as people, who understands people, that people have dignity, that people have worth, that I should work on, and I should be eager to. I want to be eager to, like, offer what I can to people to help meet those needs, you know? So whether you're Italian or American or German or whatever your background is, whatever your history is, man, you're so welcome, and I want to know you. Like, you know, that's how I see it. That's how I hope. It's strange that you never had a monarchy. In Europe, just all had it. Yeah, and then you think about history, and when the Pilgrims and stuff left Great Britain, they were leaving a monarchy, and then they came to America, and there was some misrepresentation in the what's it called? Uh, they have a monarchy. What's the thing called where it's their legislative power? I forget what it is. It's similar to our like Senate and House of Representatives. I forget what it is. How can I not remember? I feel silly, but nonetheless, as far as I understand it, what I learned was Pilgrims came over. They weren't represented, although they were still being taxed by England, and they weren't getting representation as far as lawmaking, and were heavily taxed, and they were also mistreated, as far as I understand, by guards and by things like that. And so they were like, well, if we don't get representation, like we're still citizens of England, right? Like we should get representation, and this is really unfair. We're getting heavily taxed and all this stuff. And so then, as far as I understand it, that happened with the Revolutionary War. And so when they split off, they were like, okay, we want to avoid what happened in our future. And so then when they set it up, it makes sense that they decided not to go into a monarchy. Not that monarchy is better or worse. Not that democracy is better or worse. It's just how it goes. I mean, we all have a different history. Yeah, that is true. So two nuclear bombs. I can't say that is morally correct. Like that's a genocide. That is so many people. And it's really hard to have, like, there are so many weird moral blurred lines, because when you consider also and people don't mind it, it's weird how it's talked about. I think people will, what's it called? People will say that it's just okay because, which feels icky. People say it's okay because there was already a genocide happening, and that was in an attempt to end what was happening in the world. I think there's some truth to that, but also two nuclear bombs, man. Like, whew, that is tough. It's just, again, war is dark for everybody. Like, it's not like, I think it's tough to determine a good guy, a bad guy. Like, both sides have motives and stuff like that. Now, I'm not making statements about World War II in particular or anything like that. I really want to avoid saying anything that's like pretty weird or not okay to say. So I got to be careful here. Moving two cities, yeah, that's a lot. More war history. Politicians don't know how to handle themselves. Now, to be fair, have you seen American politicians? To be fair. Okay, I don't know enough about Europe, honestly, to like make concise decisions. I don't know enough about their political scenario. We do only have 600 years of history. That's point two. I mean, Europe has thousands of years of history. You know, that's just different. Yeah. All right, guys. It is 10 a.m. I have things to prepare for. I'm meeting with groups today. This was an enjoyable stream. We just had political conversations. I didn't expect that at all. Nonetheless, in conclusion, natives are really cool. I agree. I agree. Fist fights, man, I don't know. I think it happens. I think it does happen. But guys, I'm glad we can all be here with differences and talk about this stuff. I think it's really, really cool. And I hope people from any place, any background, any religion, any country can come here and feel like they're seen, right? Of course, if people are saying or doing things that are harmful to people, that won't be tolerated. But as long as people are reasonable, I'm really glad people are here. It helps us understand each other. So, yes. Have a great day, guys. Whether it be in the morning or in the evening, have a good night if it's in the evening. Have a good rest of the day if it's in the afternoon. I really enjoyed this morning stream, and I think I'll do more in the future. So, You guys are freaking pog. Obanobi is so... I literally loved seeing you here and talking about Italy and America and stuff. Very poggers. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I love you all. Goodbye. See ya.